What's the deal, man? All praise to the Most High, man. What is the deal? How we feeling, man? Let's get them gorillas in the chat.
It's gorilla time.
Hold on, that wasn't loud enough.
It's gorilla time.
It is most definitely, most certainly, positively gorilla time right now. We finna get cracking gorilla time live on a Monday. Shout out Dre in the chat. You know what time it is. If you ain't following my Instagram, something wrong with you. She just dropped a link just for you to go ahead, click that, get on over there, follow me. I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. Dre don't even know what I did this weekend. I went and got so much content just for Instagram this weekend. Y'all not even gonna understand. So y'all gonna want to make sure you get over to @GRLA Hebrew on Instagram. Link in the chat right now. And follow and turn them notifications on, especially for them reels. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, we crashed the Sexy Red concert this weekend. And I don't even say crash because we was really vibing with, all the young ladies who was out there checking out Sexy Red. We had hell of a lot of very interesting conversations with a lot of beautiful young ladies outside that Sexy Red show this past weekend. And I got all reels coming, trust me, this week. Y'all don't even, I got about 6, 7 loaded up already right now. Wait till y'all see it. So y'all better get over again to my Instagram, Grla Hebrew, GRLA Hebrew, on IG. You're gonna see all of that there. And listen, hey man, like ODM Slim say, man, listen, this the woman with the plan right here. This is the woman with the plan. She's got that secret sauce that you need to really turn yourself up. So if you're trying to come to the next level as a content creator, you got to get with Drea. You got to. That's who I'm with. Bro put me with her. I'm with her. And man, she doing the damn thing. She's doing the damn thing as far as all that go. And she really got a good game plan. So all praise to the Most High, man. That's all I can say. That's all we can do is give all praise to the Most High. He puts everything in the right place, right? So, yeah, y'all listen. Just know y'all are gonna really want to see this Sexy Red content for sure. I'm gonna put the reels on IG, and then I'm probably gonna do a YouTube video, like really diving deep into the interactions. And then I'm gonna have a version that's gonna be exclusive on Gorilla TV. Y'all know Gorilla.tv. That's where the exclusive content is at. I'm gonna do an exclusive on Gorilla TV where like y'all gonna see like the whole day worth of footage that's not finna air. My best friend from growing up 20 years, he came in town this weekend. We shot probably 6 hours of podcast right here in this room. You see the couch? Y'all see the couch in the back? Y'all see the couch, right? Okay, boom. We shot a solid 6 hours of content in here the other day, hands down. 6 hours. Some of it's gonna be on YouTube. Some of it y'all gonna have to go to Gorilla TV to even see it because some of it's way too high for YouTube. We talk about, man, and what's so crazy is, he done came out here, did the same thing I did. Came to Atlanta the first time, felt immediately, instantaneously in love with Atlanta. So he talking about he gonna visit again soon, and he even looking to move out here. But just know that that's just gonna be more and more and more and more content for y'all. Because me and this nigga, we can literally be up. We done literally stayed up until noon talking. You feel me? Till noon, just going back and forth with stories of stuff that we did together. That's how hard we was rocking for all these years. So, man, we got 6 amazing hours. Trust and believe you me, bro. Me and that nigga right there, man. We done really been through it all. So look out for that coming right here. It's gonna be on the Urban Growth channel on Gorilla TV. Just want to plug all that. Matter of fact, let me turn y'all on promo code Monday too at urbangrower.com. Let me not neglect to turn that on. Let me turn that on real quick for y'all. What's the date? It's the 26th. So look, boom. Right, get over urbangrla.com. That's URBNGRLA.com. Use promo code Monday to save on all items and orders for the next 24 hours. All items and orders for the next 24 hours. You'll get a discount if you use promo code Monday. All right, all your Hebrew Israelite streetwear needs. Man, you see it. All the freshest stuff, the best scents, the hats, the shirts, hoodie season finna be right up upon us again. All that exclusive right here, urbangrla.com, promo code Monday, man. Gotta plug that. But y'all see what the title is, man. I don't even want to keep y'all waiting no more. Y'all see what the title is. 03 Greedo exposed by the grapes. And this is based off of a recent episode of the Adam and Wax show on No Jumper, right? Now, I'm an avid watcher of the Adam and Wax show. Every week, I'm going to definitely tap in, tune in, very entertaining content. The last like 3 weeks consecutively, I felt compelled to react to the content. That's how good it's been. But this week in particular, a guy by the name of Runchy, a major factor, one of the big face cars about the Jordan Down projects, Watts, California, Grape Street, Watts Baby Low Crip. They had him on there, right? He happens, and here's what y'all don't know. He actually happens to be the big cousin of Hassad. Y'all know Hassad. That's Hassad big cousin, right? You know, if y'all seen the picture on Hassad's Instagram, he all in the JDs, things of that nature. You know, his people about the Jordan Downs, right? So, you know, we got some familiarity. I've been having some familiarity with Runchy. You know, not that I personally know him or anything, but I know about him through his familiar connection to my young brother, right? So he came on there and said some very interesting things. Now, Greedo, 03 Greedo, they talk about some things, and I'm not going to jump the gun, but I know Greedo before he called himself Greedo. That's all I'm going to say, right? I ain't going to go too in-depth into it, but I know about him far before this iteration of him that ascended into stardom. I know about him long before that, and we're going to do a deep dive into all of that, and we're going to analyze the things that, you know, big homies from his community are saying about him. And you know, we got to take everything with a grain of salt. But yeah, man, this is major waves, and this information is already surfaced. But to have individuals as influential, as powerful, with his bigger name and influence, not only in the streets but in the industry, is Runchy, to come on this platform with Wack and Adam and to come and say the things that they're saying, it gives it, I feel like, more validity than the initial run of trying to discredit him on a street level as saying that he was some type of informant. Now, 03 Greedo has came up to the No Jumper platform and he's addressed these issues, these allegations that he's some type of snitch. He called his lawyer. His lawyer discredited the idea that he ever made the statement in question, which was in the police report, but was not in any sworn documents. So there's a lot going on here, and we're going to look at this. These guys come with crime scene evidence. Crime scene evidence. We talking about, you know, when they put the little number next to different evidence and they take the pictures and they print the pictures out and they put it in the file. Them niggas come on there with files like that. Not to spoil too much, but they came with a lot, and I've already seen this. So we're going to deal with this. We're going to probably look at some of this Big U and Black Sam stuff going on. And then we're going to talk about, of course, something else that has transpired on the No Jumper platform. GDs in California, something that I have a lot of information and firsthand knowledge of. So we're going to talk about all that tonight and, you know, whatever else. But these are our three main topics for tonight. But I definitely want to really get off into this 03 Greedo stuff. Very interesting stuff here on the Adam and Wax show, man. This show never fails. All right, hold on.
Wondering how to get in your shit when it just.
Newport.
But we're down there. We
to do time at that time.
I knew that he was out on bond. We all knew because
man, when you run, you know you wear all kind of shit.
No, I got some
that.
pants like that too.
You
And whenever I wear them,
shit.
people
you always
point it
been
out
like that. You all kind of shit. Come on, sign 03 Greedo. Shit,
Probably so.
trust me.
Trust me. That was
We got Watts in the build.
100
and month third. Jordan Downs. So I've been seeing Greedo. He mentioned me too. I guess he was mad at me because we talked about it. And I don't know why people get mad at me for reporting what's in the blogs. You say, yo, have you seen this?
I would say it's more of the personal touch that you add to it.
What?
I mean, your own personal opinions and flair. If you were to just report on like whatever gets said in the news, then it might not be so controversial, right?
It's my opinion.
Right.
You had an opinion and get mad at you?
What was my opinion? My opinion was like, oh, leave him alone. He's fine.
Well, here goes the day. The first time I met Greedo, was that 15, 16?
16. I was in jail in 15.
16? We was at the observatory or something in Orange County. I pull in, nephew back there, Runchy.
Bro said, why they striking on your channel so much, man? Y'all had to reboot to the John Bray. So, yeah, man, you already know, man. This channel right here, too, is where we talk about. I just go into other stuff, man, but definitely tap into the Chief Dome channel, the SICARRI Exodus 1715 channel. What else? Another channel, the Gorilla TV channel. Tap into those channels, bro. You know, that's where that edification is going to consistently be pumped out. Don't worry. You know, they could try whatever, you know, but big up to Drea in the chat. She's really giving me a really nice and solid game plan on how to combat a lot of this stuff, man. So don't worry, y'all. We working right now, man, but we going to commentate, man, on the BS tonight.
He said, whack, man, come meet my artist, 03 Greedo. I look at Runchy, I look at the artist, I greet him. He got his head down looking at the ground. I tell nephew, man, tell that nigga, bring the nigga in, but tell that nigga get some, he got to act like it's his building.
Right.
So, and I say that to say this, and then I watched you work with him to build, to get to a point where he eventually started talking too much. Because my homeboy G Will, I think he was kind of like part of y'all thing one time. That G Will called, told me I got to get away from this nigga. Whack, this nigga mouth is a little disrespectful.
Yeah, he was going to come up here and explain his side.
Yeah.
Yeah, G Will.
That's the nigga that pushed his ass in the bushes when he said I ran. But like it was a situation with him and Will, whatever.
But Will was part of the team, right?
He was part of the team. So I'm
you
like,
running for? Y'all part of the team. You
situation.
And then
He got mad at me.
That's what I'm saying.
Look, he got mad at me because he jumped out the car on the bread, and I stayed in the car with Will. But I'm like, nigga, you playing? I know Will a gangster.
That's
I'm
a
finna
fact.
see what's up with this nigga because he finna go to these Bloods. I know, nigga, I'm finna trail him and see what he on, so I can try to calm that down because I know he coming back to your house. So situation.
But all y'all doing the business together
so
somehow.
it ain't no side pictures.
Yeah, so what you really doing is,
I'm
nigga, I'm really trying to calm this down.
Exactly. Because I know Will about that.
That's a fact.
You feel me? That's my nigga. Shout out my
William
Will.
Odom.
Who's Will and what are we talking
G
about?
Will from my
This
neighborhood.
is a situation.
Okay.
But they was business partners, all of them, and came together.
And Chase.
Okay.
Yeah, and Chase.
And Chase. And I think that's Will brother.
That's his brother, yeah.
Yeah, they all came together.
Yeah.
And it was financing Greedo. I think this might have been before you went and got the deal, right?
Hold on real quick. James Collins asks, family, any of y'all get hoodies from Urban Gorilla? How the sizes run? Is a large or regular fitting large, or is it a little bigger than the typical large, or can you answer Chief? Yeah, the sizes, most of the hoodies are true to size. You know, they're true to size. So I'll fluctuate between the XL and the 2XL, typically, for sure. Like Rakeem said, through the spirit, new beginnings. Yeah, we're going to talk about GDs in California, man. We definitely going to talk about the California GDs in a second. Adam recently had one on this platform. And a lot of people are in disbelief, but it's definitely a real thing. And I'm going to get all off into it here momentarily.
Right. It was like right before because we took him to chase him.
He was already turned up like by the time they got it.
About the deal came in December 2017.
Yeah.
Okay.
We signed him before that.
And he was already rolling around with TK and Picasso at that point, or no?
They
That was
were just
before that?
friends. It
Okay.
wasn't no
They just did
business.
marketing and shit like that.
Yeah,
they came a
Picasso
little
did
later.
like A&R work for him
Yeah.
and shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you guys sign him and start shopping him to labels, or what happened once you guys started working with him?
We was under a management first with him, management contract. But when we took him to Will and Chase, that's when we did the production. We signed the label deal. We gave him 60% and we had 40.
Uh-huh.
So that's what that happened. And it only took us about, I mean, you got all these heads. I mean, it's a 4-headed monster on the team. So it didn't take us no time to go and sign.
Did you know about his legal situation and that he was basically going to have to go do time at that time?
I knew that he was out on bond. We all knew because actually G. Will bailed him out the time that he did get caught at the Roosevelt Hotel with Will, right? I wasn't there, but they and the bounty hunters or the police, whoever caught him, they arrested him up there. I wasn't there, but he was up there chilling with Will and shit.
Okay.
Will bond him out, I think the second time.
Quick.
Yeah. So, you know, as a team, niggas was paying his bills, his buying him clothes, especially Will, because him and Will and Gooch was hanging out more. You know, I don't really hang.
Yeah, you know.
Like I Gooch and Will, don't get me wrong, but I don't hang like they hang. Like
same
they're
program.
my brothers.
Yeah, Runch don't really hang out like that. He been having the same program and shit. You know, me on party, I'm gonna go out shit. Nigga, I did 6.5 years in prison.
And then
I'm out here, nigga.
and then
lying, but you know, Runch got the same program.
Emails and shit, and I let him. First, I didn't even see the email.
Yeah.
And once we ended up finding the email, we took a deal, whatever. But we didn't know that Todd was a part of Interscope with Joey. Joey didn't do that, and whatever they had on the table, I don't know.
okay.
So y'all get the deal done.
So they just talking about the business side because they signed 03 Greedo, I believe, in management and with his publishing. So they kind of just going through the business side. So just give it a second. I didn't get no timestamp, so I'm just kind of working through it until I find the part I really want to start talking.
We
It was
negotiated.
got 60%, and we took 40. Like we gave him a big chunk of the production.
So in all actuality,
Dad, appreciate you. I got a lot of little Raptors, a lot of Toronto joints. Feel me? Look at this jersey though. Hold on, let me show y'all this jersey though. Listen, y'all see it? It's the hold on, listen, you see that? Jurassic Park. Look, boom, hold on. What that say though? That's the OVO Jurassic Park jersey. What do you mean? Yeah, that OVO Jurassic Park jersey. Don't get it twisted.
with Alamo, y'all did a 50-50. I'm taking it, right?
With Alamo
distribution deal.
distribution.
50-50, right? So in other words,
Did a partnership.
y'all got 20% because you got 20% of his 50%, right?
Well,
That's how it
we
worked.
How we was doing, we didn't really get no royalties from Alamo. You know how that shit, you'll be waiting on that shit for I don't know how long.
Yeah.
But we got the Vans first. That was in 2017. But he was in the red already just with the us.
Oh, everything y'all did.
Yeah, and then that shit happened with them with G Will.
Yeah.
So Will like, nah, nigga, fuck all that, nigga. You owe me this. So when
I remember I got the call
the
from Will.
Vans came,
Yeah.
he owed the Will more than 60, but Will just took 60 off the muscle.
Yeah.
And the 90 had to get split between us three now.
There you go. Well, shit,
Outside
y'all
of that,
been taking care of him.
okay, his 60% or whatever was made. I can't really say too much numbers, but you posting numbers on your Instagram. Nah, nigga, they don't go back to you because they can sign that shit to you, Adam. They can give it to Wack if they want to. It's they shit.
That's our
We
contract
bought
set up.
out their percentage so they can go their way. But I didn't never want Will and Chase to go nowhere. They're my guys. You know what I'm saying?
Plus, Chase got a lot of resources.
Yeah.
So you guys were on good terms up until him getting locked up, and this stuff all started happening while he was
Got
locked up?
locked up. Yeah. That's
Okay.
when things started happening or whatever. Like my uncle Lily, he got 5%. He should be on his way, but he got 5% of it. He called one
So
day.
it was a
saying he
whole
wanted to take
Grape Street thing outside of G. Will and
Great
Chase.
Power Root thing.
Yeah, from Pacoima.
Yeah,
Got you.
that's what it was.
Well, I do know this, and you know this. He was getting real disrespectful with his mouth with a lot of people. And every time I got the call I was somewhere, I would always call it out of respect to you.
Yeah, I remember.
Right? I didn't, like 4-5 times, talking about some reputable people. I'm like, nah, bro, that's Runch thing. Leave that alone. Just call Runch, let Runch deal with it.
Yeah.
And niggas respected that. So that's why I was kind of shocked that he would play his hand that he's playing right now.
I mean, the internet undefeated. You could talk all the talk you want to talk when you sitting somewhere else. I mean, at the end of the day, if Gucci lead this today, and tomorrow he get on in there and call me all type of bitch ass niggas, I mean, I would hope and I believe that he'll be in the projects or somewhere reachable that we can handle this.
No,
If you a real one.
Yeah, that's
So that right there, first they talking about the business thing, but that moment right there, that's when things are officially taking a turn. Because that was the first jab right there. He said if Gooch was talking about me, he's a real one, so he's gonna be in the projects and we can handle this. What projects? Of course, the infamous Jordan Down Projects, home of the infamous Grape Street Watch, Crips, Watch Baby Low, Crips, Watch Vadio, Grapes, etc. If you a real one, he says, insinuating. Now, that's the first jab why I said that. This is now insinuating what? 03 Greedo is not, in fact, a real one, and he's not reachable, and he's not in the projects that he's claiming to hail from. Now, of course, we can look in times past at a lot of evidence, footage, and things like that of him being and functioning in the JDs. But of late, since there's been allegations of bad business and possibly snitching, now we're not seeing him in the Jordan Downs projects like we used to see him. We see him with certain great members for sure, but not in the actual projects functioning. And now what Runch is insinuating is that's because he's not a real one. So let's start paying attention now. This when the BS really starts.
real.
You know what I'm saying?
So the telling allegation, because I still ain't really.
I feel like we're racing a little bit if we're going to get into that, right? Because I want to
you want to know about the
Let's stay on
yeah, let's stay on the business.
Because I want to know
Because he
when that
obsessed
came out.
with snitching. But anyway, so okay, the whole time he's locked up, are you guys still in communication?
Of course. For one, he had to sign over power of attorney to sign his signature, but wasn't nothing get signed unless he called. We had the lawyer Dave at the time. David McGriff was representing the company as a whole, and he was communicating through Dave. But Dave had like a medical issue or something like that. Well, we didn't know, but he just stopped answering. But at the business don't stop when you stop answering. So respectfully, Dave, my guy though, we had to go with another lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then too, it was starting to be a conflict because we started having this situation with him wanting buybacks and percentage, and he's incarcerated for one. His mental ain't even there. He's going all his mind all kind of racing and shit. You know what I'm saying? He probably thinking, I don't know what, but Gooch and him had a relationship. It was just business with me. Like I'm not like me and him the same age, but he didn't grow up with me. Or, you know what I'm saying? My theory, like he came around like 2016, but he was claiming hood.
What would you mean?
Like I said, it's where the BS starts. So he said he's my age. Now we looking at Runch. Runch ain't no young nigga, right? I'm not saying he's old. I feel like he's probably older than me though. So let's just look this up. 03 Greedo. Boom. 03 Greedo. Let's look at his Wikipedia. Jason Jamal Jackson, known by the stage name 03 Greedo, is an American rapper. Boom, boom. So he's 37. It's crazy because he doesn't feel 37, right? Meaning like he definitely seems like a younger dude than 37 years old. He seems like a younger dude for sure than that. But like he said, he's my age, but I did not grow up with him. Right? Okay, let's go.
He came around, so he didn't grow up in Watts.
Nah.
Where he grew up at? Where did he?
I'm in Sacramento, Gardena.
So Sacramento, Gardena. Now, I have a little homie by the name of Scarface. And, in about 2011/12, around there, he introduced me to, he was just always playing all these songs by a nigga named Greedy Giddy. Greedy Giddy. He had a song like Burnt Mission. Let me look that up. Hold on real quick. Watch this. Yeah, Burnt Mission. Watch this. Greedy Giddy Burnt Mission. You see that? 14 years ago. This Greedo. Before the face tats and the dreads. There you go. There you go. You see him? That's him. But he's Greedy Giddy. You see, he got that YouTube is still up. Grady Giddy. Yeah, bipolar. He had that bipolar. That's what it was called. Bipolar. I remember it all now. Right. So he had these different things. And he used to rap with this girl out the Anthons, Nay Nas out the Anthons. So I knew about it. The little homie put me on the cut. Like, okay, boom, this Grady Giddy. So we used to listen to him. He was a dope rapper, right? But he was repping Gardena. But the little homie explained to me back in 2012. This is what he said to me in 2012, before any of this stuff surfaced. And I don't know how. And I hit him up too, because it's the little homie. I want to hit him up and get some clarity on this, because he told me in 2012, like, he's from Gardena, but he got put on Grape, but the Grape stopped fucking with him, so he just started going hard and repping Gardena. This is in 2012, what my little homie Scarface told me, right? So all of a sudden, flash forward, when he come out super Grape, to me, what I deduced was, okay, he went over there and straightened whatever situation out over there in the Grapes, and now he's good and he's been embraced as a part of that community. But the homie again told me he wasn't from Watts, he was from Gardena, but he went and either was kicking it at school with some Grapes, whatever, ended up getting put on Grape somehow, some way, but the Grapes didn't really embrace him and take to him initially, but they did years later, and then that's when he changed his whole rap identity and just went super Grape. That's what I was told 12 years ago by my little homie, right? Again, this is before the blogs are major, the YouTube interview. It's before a lot of that stuff. And again, I don't know how he had this information, but he told me Cuz was from Grape all the way back 2012. So Runch is saying he started coming around 2016, but I heard he was from Grape in 2012. But again, that don't invalidate nothing Runch is saying. What it's saying is he really didn't start coming around till 2016. So the stories really are, for the most part, in alignment, that he was either claiming or got put on, but wasn't really from over there. So they kind of rejected him. And then down the line, they end up embracing him. Now, it's interesting because I just was peeking at his Wikipedia. So look what his Wikipedia says. Jason Jamal Jackson was born in West LA, California, on July 26, 1987. To Michael and Lisa Jackson in late 1988, when Jackson was only a year old. His father was killed in a motorcycle accident. This was shortly after his parents had purchased their home in Gardena, California, where Jackson was raised along with his brother and sister. He was the youngest of the three. Prior to his father's death, he and his family lived in Los Angeles near the Chester Washington Golf Course. As a toddler, he had a series of ear infections, which resulted in tympanostomy tube. At age 17, Jackson was expecting a baby with his high school girlfriend. He worked various retail jobs and sold his own beats in anticipation of supporting his only child, a daughter who was born after they turned 18, and her mother. Soon after, he began to sell drugs to support his family. Jackson was kicked out of his home by his mother after she grew tired of his disrespectful behavior. He stayed with various friends, including his daughter's mother. He also spent a period of time of homelessness. He moved to Watts area of LA and later settled in the Jordan Downs housing projects in Watts. So that's what this says. I don't know. It's got a source. What's the source? The Impossible Tale of 03 Greedo, the future West Coast rap. Okay. So this is via Noisy, a 2016 Noisy article. Okay. Very interesting. Right. So do it have, yeah, see, look, it's got all this stuff. Bipolar 1, bipolar 2, bipolar 3, bipolar 4, all this stuff. Right. So all this, he's banging Gardena the strong way. We see a 4-year gap in releases. Then all of a sudden, what? Purple Summer. Purple, that's for Grape. Right? All of a sudden, everything gets graped out. The Wolf of Grape, Wolf of Grape Street. Even the 03 is a reference to 103rd 10 Tray, which is the main block represented by the Grape Streets. That 3, they do the 3 high handshake, things of that nature for 103rd Street. So there was that gap right there. And then all of a sudden, like I said, he came just over grape. He came over grape after that. 2016, which what did Run should say? He ain't start coming around till 2016. Very interesting, right? Very, very interesting. Like he even used to have, he had let me find, you know what? Let me just go to this Greedy Giddy page. Watch this. Just watch this. I'm gonna show y'all. Y'all see that? It's legend. I think he had Gardena on the other side of his face. He had twofold. No, Living Legend. My fault. It was Living Legend. This him and they Nast, I think. Yeah. Him and they Nast used to have something called Flyer Squad. Didn't he used to have like twofold on his face or something? Y'all see him? But you know he was repping Gardena. Watch. I'm not gonna play none of this. I ain't trying to get. Look at this. Somebody have secret slaps. Right, like people forgot about this whole Greedy Giddy when he came back with the graped out rebrand. You know, but he definitely was, you know, Greedy Giddy for a time. Let's get back to it.
Didn't he do a song, a Gardena song?
Yeah,
Like
the
Gar or
shotgun-
something?
Yeah, the shotgun sent it to me. Yeah.
He was always, man, hold on. Ah, God, it's a song I want to play so bad. What's that? It was on that Kid Ink beat. That Kid Ink beat. Bathroom, right? Greedy Giddy bathroom. Follow me back home. Hold on. Is that what it's called? Hold on, Kid Ink. Yeah, bathroom is what it's called. Hold on. I'm not seeing it. Hold on. Greedy Giddy bathroom. Yeah, it's not popping up anymore. It was on that Kid Ink beat. Kid Ink beat. I don't know why that's so hard for me to say that. That's crazy. But it was on a Kid Ink song, but he said it like that he's a Gardena nigga, man. Strip talk, Shalom. That he's a Gardena nigga. So he was pressing that. But again, like I said, my little homie told me that he was from Grape, though, even though he was repping Gardena, because I was confused. I'm like, why he going so hard with this Gardena stuff if you telling me that he's from Grape? But again, he told me that the Grapes ain't really embrace him back then. Again, this is in 2012. The Grapes wasn't really messing with him. Like, he knew some niggas at school that got put on at school, but they didn't know him in the Jacks, though, in the JDs. So he wasn't really embraced and accepted. And it wasn't until down the line, like Runch is talking about, like 2016, where he was accepted as a Grape.
Yeah. Man, I
Was
see
he
it,
claiming
they sent it to
shotgun?
me. Nah, I ain't gonna say that. They didn't.
He was
say
just
no
hanging
shit like
around
that.
with him.
Yeah, he just was repping Gardena real heavy.
Got you.
Yeah. But I seen it on the internet, but they sent it to me a while ago. But that shit all over the internet. You got it?
What?
Well,
He had a song called what? Shotgun?
I don't know what it was called, but it was him, where he was from before he came to the project.
Oh,
And when you hear
yeah.
Gar or anything, that's Gardena.
Wait, so when did you start?
He was in jail too.
I met him back when I got out in 2016. He used to be hanging with my sister, baby daddy, and shit.
Okay.
Feel me? That's how I got acquainted with the nigga. You feel me? Like, it was just business. Like, we used to talk about business and shit like that.
When you met him, what was he claiming?
He was claiming the hood, but he never got put on the hood.
So now, see, and this is this is where the problems arise, right? And we see this all too often with situations where you got celebrities, famous motherfuckers gangbanging, right? What happens is He said a statement like that. He was claiming the hood, but he never got put on the hood. Okay, cool. I don't know whether or not that's true. Let's say it is true. When he's screaming grape and he's cool and y'all getting money with him, it was cool for him to portray himself as a validated, certified, bona fide baby low. As a mafia, as a Peter Rome mafia member. He got a whole song, Keep It Mafia. That was cool. Then it was cool for him to put it on BL. Then all these years. Now, he never got put on the hood. See, when you let him portray, if you are standing on, he not really ever got put on the turf, but you let him claim it and operate the way he did for so long as a bona fide certified member, you enabled that, so you don't get to invalidate his membership through mentioning the fact that allegedly he never got his court on. You don't get to do that because you sat back and let him do that all them years. I don't think that's fair at all. And I see that happen when these celebrities are like, oh yeah, I mean, he was claiming the hood, but nigga, like, oh, nah. You co-sign that. You put the battering in his back. If he didn't get put on, he felt like he had a put on because niggas like you vouch for him. So no. You don't get to do that. You supposed to make that an issue from the jump. He need his put on. Right? And if he don't get it, we're not going to accept what he's doing. It's just like that whole thing going back with Yael. When Yael called Wack and Wack bring Roddy Rich up on Clubhouse. And Yael like, man, that put on was 2 seconds. But when you was all in the music video with Roddy, it was cool. He was from Parkville, he was from Ya Gang. That was cool then. Nah, y'all don't get to do that. If it's an issue, if you feel like he not really from the turf, you want to invalidate his membership from the set, nigga, you need to make that an issue from the jump. Anybody. Don't respect person on that. Anybody. Either they certified or they uncertified. Simple. Don't wait until all this time, 2016, 8 years later, now all of a sudden you want to tell the world he ain't great. Now, if you want to say that based on snitching allegations, okay, that's actions of his own that would invalidate his gangster for sure. But all this, he was claiming the hood but never got put on the hood, but y'all let him be the great mascot. So don't try to invalidate that now. That's selective politics. Like Wack always said, that's selective politics, and don't do that. If he wasn't from Great for real, he should have never been allowed to name a mixtape Purple Summer. He should have never been allowed to name a mixtape The Wolf of Grape Street. That's a hell of a claim. The Wolf of Grape Street. Let's go back. What's this called? The Wolf of Grape Street. Purple Hearted Soldier. You know what you got to do? Type of work you got to get put in to get a Purple Heart and then be from Grape on top of that? Y'all see this? GIP Mafia Ray. Look at the Jordan Downs. So he was allowed to do this, to do anthems for the hood in the Jordan Down projects, and he's just a claimer? Well, that ain't fair, bro. That's not fair. It's not fair for you to do that. Now, it's not fair. Neff, I don't know if he was really hanging. He was in Gardena. If you're in Gardena, you're going to be around the shotguns. You're going to be around the paybacks. For sure. It don't matter when. You're going to be around the Gardena Telese. Shout out my nigga Gardena Telese, too. You're going to be around them, for sure. But I've never heard an allegation. I've heard that he represented the city of Gardena. I never heard an allegation that he was ever, like, claiming shotgun or from shotgun. Just for the record.
He was around. Was he around you?
He was around. He was around like
didn't know all
my childhood friends that I grew up with. You feel me? So that's how I like starting to accept him and shit like that. You feel me? Through them. So it wasn't just like because I don't talk to everybody. You feel me? Like I ain't no friendly nigga. So I'ma just you feel me? Like they call a nigga bully, but I ain't no bully. I'm just strict on my program. So you know, to my little brothers and you know with him and shit like that, and it was like yeah, he cool, fuck with him. So I never hung with him until we started doing the business. You feel me? So I met him and shit, you feel me? I got at lunch. Like, man, what's up? What you want to do? This nigga got a single out, you feel me? Me and Greedo was talking about business and shit like that
And it was crazy because
And he was on runs too before that.
right before he asked me that, I said, is that the same little nigga that be with, you know, I named a few of the homies that he be with, some little young niggas. And he was like, yeah. I said, well, he asked me. I told that nigga to get back at me. I want to know if he's serious or not. You know, I ain't about wasting no time. And then he came back with him. And I was like, yeah, okay, he might be serious. I ain't finna everybody rap. I got
So he was hanging over there. We can give him that. He went from Sacramento to Gardena, was hanging with the cats in Gardena, and then somehow through your family worked his way to Watts. Somebody had to bring him over there. You ain't just going over there.
Friends. I mean, I ain't gonna say
you ain't going over there to the JDs, just going over there. Somebody got to
he had a gun case or something like that. When he said his brother told on him, but that's in his music, his old music. Something happened like that. And I think my homeboy Mad Mel ran across him in there and kind of, I think, brought him over there. Him and Lil L.
Jailhouse fine.
Yes.
Pooh Rider like special. That. My nigga Pooh Rider, he sent all kind of niggas to the streets from jail.
So like he said, a jailhouse fine. So what they saying is how he began to be affiliated. CC waking it up. But how he basically became affiliated was, you know, somebody from Grape ended up taking him up under the wing while he was a non-affiliate in the county jail. And that's where the association come from. Now, CC says a lot of niggas from Grape never got put on and they still from Grape. Now, this may be true. Y'all gotta understand there are certain communities that a put on is of the utmost precedence. Like it's virtually unheard of for somebody to not have that, right? I know where I come from, put-ons is like virtually non-negotiable. There's no like very, very few instances of exceptions being made. There has to be some sort of initiation process. But I know there are certain communities where they're what you call very family oriented, right? And what I mean by family oriented is they're so tight knit and close in family that they're looking at everybody that's here as that membership. So there's no additional initiation that people are required to go through. You know, I've heard different communities speak on it, different people who are looked at as certified members of different gangs who say, hey, I never got no put on. Some niggas think about a put on like it's like whatever. You see what I'm saying? So these things happen. So that invalidation, I'm just saying that's unfair. Nakawan, Shalom. So that invalidation it's like it'd be real convenient. And our people have this inconsistent behavior that we really need to correct, because it's really convenient that, okay, he was the super, you know, mascot for y'all hood all this time and y'all did business with him and you guys were profiting off of his music career, or at least potentially profiting off of his music career. And now when that business sours, now we're trying to invalidate his gangster. We're trying to take that from him now. We're trying to discredit him now. We're trying, and we have to understand the power of invalidating somebody's gangster. Remember, Ja Rule was at the top of the world, and 50 Cent came out and simply said Ja Rule is not a gangster. And that totally ended his career. He has never been able to recover from the claims in which 50 Cent made against him when he first came out. So you got to watch that. The tongue is powerful, you know, and I would understand why they might want to sour him based off the fact that the business went sour. And of course, there are some other allegations going on where they don't want him associated with their community. I understand it, but we can't just try to go back and act like, well, man, he never even really got put on. That's not fair, bro. That's not fair.
Yeah.
I was in the pen with
So you already know.
you know what's up.
Yeah, he said, oh yeah. So
My nigga.
all right, so he makes it to Watts. That connection happens. That comes to you.
Yeah, he knew Runch already.
Yeah.
Runch had him with Gates and them and all them. Like,
See, I took him
he
to the
had him
studio.
before I even had him.
Him and Lil 100. That's my homeboy, Lil one. I came up with him. That's really my homeboy.
Yeah.
Certified, validated, great.
I took him to the studio with Gates, you know, because I'm like, we finna try to work. And Gates like, shit, what nigga y'all want in the A or anybody else? I'm gonna go get some futures. We gonna build this up, you know. That's family. So, bro, like whatever you trying to do, we gonna throw it there. We do this, Gates do the song or whatever for him. I don't hear nothing about the song back. Gates like, shit, what y'all finna do? I'm finna do what I gotta do. So they left or whatever. Lil 100, being him, that's my little nigga though.
Yeah.
He took the song. He didn't put nobody on that motherfucker. That ain't my business though. I ain't no rapper.
So why he didn't get on it? He might have didn't get on the same reason why he didn't run out there doing that Thug show.
Yeah.
When Thug said he gonna take a break, he can go. I heard he got slapped that day.
Yeah.
Who he was with? Somebody. He was with one of your homeboys.
Yeah, I was in jail around that time. That was like
That was
2015.
Pee-wee that
Then Thug told him he can go out there and do a song, and he was scared.
Yeah. I heard it. I heard the problems. He froze up or some shit. But you know,
He was shy when I met him.
but that goes back to when you met him. From there to now, it's a totally different person.
Well, he started really experiencing success in like 2017, 2018. Like
2018.
the whole lead up to him getting locked up was like him just meeting and linking and doing music with more and more rappers. And like,
Where did he go? 2020, 2019?
no, it was way before
wasn't
COVID.
even
It was
out there.
probably
When he went to
2018. Well, he caught his case probably before they even.
No, but when he turned himself in,
2018.
18.
Yeah, 2018.
What did he do, like a nickel or something?
He did about 3.5, 4.
He had 20 and he did 50.
Yeah, they do
Or
like
did
third
5.
time or some shit out
Yeah,
there.
yeah. Texas timing is different.
They do third time, 25%, 30% or something.
See, and then my homeboy caught the case with him, J-Man. That's his brother-in-law. He got kids with his sister. So, you know, they inside the conversation is more than mine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That man sleeping his mother home.
So my thing is with this too. Now they're talking about that, and I think the brother in question, what's going on with one? The brother in question now, we say he's his sister's baby dad or whatever, or whatever the connection is. The individual in question, I believe, was on 03 Greedo's interview with Adam on the matter and was saying that he's not snitching. So this stuff is really confusing, right? But let's keep going.
Got
In
you.
his sister bed. So, like, that's where all that shit came from.
You know, all
He
that
got
time,
probation.
I avoided, you know that you never could find anything on Clubhouse. We was running heavy paperwork because I avoided talking about his situation because I remember he was supposed to be straightening your situation.
Yeah,
So I never brought him up.
right.
People would send me paperwork and I didn't go over it. I did some bitch ass nigga shit.
But the girl you're saying that he was dating, is that the one he proposed to on stage and all that shit?
No.
Oh, that was okay.
Nah. That was who he was with the time he was
Right.
doing his time and shit.
Mhm.
He was with her before too.
Yeah.
I know I gave her one payment. Listen, we only had 3, maybe 4, but it wasn't no.
Did he recoup?
Wasn't nobody? No, it wasn't nobody getting no millions of dollars or whatever. No
So he didn't recoup
shit.
with Alamo.
Hell, no, he's still in the red.
So when did shit start getting messy? It was while he was locked up?
While he was locked up.
Yeah, it was while he was locked up. It was a situation basically, you feel me? This what happened. Okay, so we getting paid, right? Percentage, we getting our percentage out of the cut 17.5 a piece. All right. All right, no, let me go back. All right. Now the situation with him was, let me go back. With Greedo now, we got paid, right? But all this old music and new music was mixed in with the TuneCore before we signed him.
I think he had one project out before
Yeah.
we signed him, so he considered like we don't supposed to touching.
We
on it.
wasn't. We
Which
wasn't.
that
But that's
wasn't-
going to be a tiny percentage of the
It-
total, right?
Yes.
you just hit the nail on the
Because we
coffin.
signed him when all of the popping music was out.
Okay.
So it got mixed up and he already had a TuneCore account. You know what I'm saying?
So they talking about the business and when they sign them. So let's just, I wonder how much we could investigate into this, right? So let's look at, let's just say bipolar disc 1. And let's see what we can find out about this. Gritty giddy. Because I'm going to tell y'all something, man. The laws of God are very important and essential. And what I mean by that is, you know, they tell you how to deal with your people in the realm of business, right? So let's go to bipolar disc 1, Gritty Giddy bipolar disc 1. So let's see what we can find out about this. It was released on datpiff.com. Shout out to datpiff.com. In collections, I just want to know if there is some type of label or anything, any official documentation connected to it, because they said TuneCore. So people don't know what TuneCore is. TuneCore is what you would call a media, not a media, a music distribution, a digital distribution aggregator, right? So it's how you upload your music onto that, and that they distribute your music to all the streaming platforms. That's when, if you ever look something up and there's a YouTube and it says a topic, you know, such and such artist / topic. The topic means that the aggregator, the distributor, put it on YouTube, not the individual himself uploaded it simply on their YouTube page, right? That's what that means. So, the TuneCore, they're basically saying is it had different music on there that had nothing to do with them, that was prior to them signing him, but all the money was going to one source. So what Greedo apparently had an issue with was the fact that, hey man, y'all are taking money and part of it you guys are not entitled to. I believe that was the issue. I'm over here just kind of looking. I'm not seeing nothing legally here. It probably isn't anything legally or any official you know, label release, but okay, O3 Greedo. Purple Summer. Okay, it's on Apple Music. So look, Purple Summer 2016. Okay, is there anything? Okay. Golden Grenade Empire. Golden Grenade Empire is what this was out on. Okay, so let's just look this up. Well, let's look up Purple Summer 2 first, actually. Purple Summer 2. Where's Apple Music? Can I see the Apple Music again? There we go. Apple Music. This was on Duetti, right? So let's do. How you spell that? Duetti. Okay. So this is Duetti. Get paid fairly for your music catalog. Okay. So this seems like to be get cash for your catalog tracks. Ooh. Okay. This seems like he sold. Hold on. Get cash for as many masters as you want. Choose the percentage of the 50% that you keep. Get transparent, data-driven offers. See your growth. Okay, so it looked like he probably sold this album, and now somebody else own it. Okay, interesting. Okay, so did he do it part 3, right? Yep. Okay, boom. So let's do all 3 get a Purple Summer. All 3. Right. It's good to do this. Y'all know I'm gonna get real investigative. I'm gonna get real forensic with these breakdowns. It's very important to get real forensic with these breakdowns. Amazon. No, this that first one. Where's Purple Summer 03? Okay, let me put in Purple Summer overview. Release. Do we have any of the legalities? Okay, Golden Grenade Empire. So what is Golden Grenade Empire? Not a lot of information here on Golden Grenade Empire. See, so when I look at Golden Grenade, to me, it's like, okay, it's a double G, a light greedy giddy. So it sounds like something that he created. Let's go to the IG, matter of fact. Golden Grenade. Nah, I don't think that's related. Oh, well, okay, so Purple Summer 2, Purple Summer 3, joined with Ron the producer, Loaded Up, Money Changes Everything, First Night Out. So these are all 2016, 2017 releases with the exception of one 2020 release. Okay. Golden Grenade. Very interesting. Golden Grenade. So, let's go back. Just trying to get to the bottom of something. Because this is going to tell you. Yeah, Golden Grenade Alamo. Okay. What I'm trying to figure out is Golden Grenade Empire these brothers' company? Renchi and Gooch's company. I'm not seeing anything. As Greedy Giddy Jackson released numerous tracks on SoundCloud. In 2016, Jackson changed his name to 03 Greedo and self-produced 2 mixtapes, Purple Summer and Purple Summer 2. He also started his own label, Golden Grenade Empire. So again, this is okay. Golden Grenade Empire is his own label. Then what is their label, and when can we see him doing stuff with them, and what are they entitled to? That's what I want to know. Where is the? Can I get an Apple Music on this? Right there, the Wolf of Grape Street. Okay, just say Alamo and Sony. Now again, they could be on the back end and it might not say, but I'm just trying to understand, like, when do they come into play at which project and what are they entitled to versus what did he do prior to them and what are they not entitled to, and how much of the percentages could they have possibly got their hands on it, to explain why he might be upset rationally, right? Let's go back to it.
When we signed him, so he was already receiving the payments himself. So basically, the payments got mixed up, and he was like, "Hey man, I got overpaid." But mind you, when you're doing business, corporate business with lawyers, they always involved when a payment is going through. So we end up getting money tangled in with his old money with the new money of the new music we did. So we like, shit, let's fix it. Like, if we got overpaid a little bit, you feel me? Like get an accountant. You feel me? Let's like, nigga, next money roll in, you take it off the top.
We owe you and you take that off top because we know it's a small fraction.
Yeah, right. So it was just like that. We had a simple conversation. The homie Dustboy was on 3-way. You feel me? He heard all.
Now that makes sense, and that's how you settle that. And that sounds reasonable and like probably what happened.
The conversations and everything. He's supposed to been here too.
Yeah. He got caught up in traffic, Dustboy. But Dustboy was, he accepted every collect call. Dustboy the one got that engagement ring for his fiance when he got Dustboy was his fly on the wall. That's the homie. He had a life sentence, came home, he do his thing, stand-up guy, never told Dustboy straight. But Dustboy was his partner. Dustboy kind of took him in, when he came over there too. And Dustboy can explain this shit the same how we explaining it. Ain't nobody took nothing from that dude. That dude know everything, and Dustboy so mad because he been betrayed.
So nobody, I remember you telling me when he was in jail, he did something to where the payments stopped coming.
Yeah. It was like we was having a situation and the label didn't want to be in the middle, or they don't want to be wrong by releasing any money to no sides. So it just had to, pause.
So when he came home, what happened? Y'all got contracts. So a letter of direction should have rightfully went in.
It was a situation to where when we was getting paid, it was his TuneCore and he had control over that. So when the situation happened on that, you know, he can lock up on it.
So was the label collecting the TuneCore?
No, they didn't have no. It was just me, him, and Runch. And
So the label side, they not recouped yet. So they ain't cut nobody.
Now hold on. Hold on. And let me tell y'all something, right? I know this ain't the breakdown class. This ain't the Bible breakdown class, but I'm gonna tell y'all something, right? I got a job. I got a job. Let me show y'all. Oh, let's go to right here. I got a job, y'all. Deuteronomy 1:17. Ye shall not respect persons in judgment, but ye shall hear the small as well as the great. Ye shall not be afraid of the face of man, for the judgment is God's, and the cause that is too hard for thee bring unto me, and I will hear it. Right. 16 and 19. Now thou shalt not wrest judgment, thou shalt not respect persons, neither take a gift, for a gift doth blind the eyes of the wise and pervert the words of the righteous. It's important because you can't respect persons. You got to call it how you see it. So I just saw something right here. I just saw two contradictory, inconsistent things being said. So let's take another look at it.
Payment stopped coming.
Yeah. It was like we was
Lady AD, what's the deal?
having a situation and the label didn't want to be, in the middle, or they don't want to be wrong by releasing any money to no sides. So it just had to, pause.
So
the label's not releasing any money to the sides. But watch this.
when he came home, what happened? I mean, y'all got contracts. So a letter of direction should have rightfully went in.
It was a situation to where when we was getting paid, it was his TuneCore and he had control over that.
It was his TuneCore and he had control over it. So if it was his TuneCore that was where the money was coming from and he had control over it, there was no label intervention. Notice, Runchy just said it was label intervention. Gooch just said there was no label intervention, that it was Greedy Giddy or 03 Greedo in total control of his TuneCore, and that's what stopped them from getting their money. You see how they're both saying two different things on either side of the table right now? That's two different things.
So when the situation happened on that, he can lock up on it.
So was the label collecting the TuneCore?
No, they didn't have no. It was just.
Wait, hold on. Gooch, you moving too fast, pimp. You moving too fast, Keyway. See, watch this, y'all. Watch this.
It was his TuneCore and he had control over that. So when the situation happened on that, he can lock up on it.
So was the label collecting the TuneCore?
No, they didn't have no. It was.
You see how he hesitated? Runch hesitated and said, nah. See, because Runch is using his brain. And shout out to him. Runch is using his brain. He just said something that Gooch just totally jumped out of there without thinking and contradicted. And now we have to be honest with the fact that actually the label didn't have control of the money. We was all getting paid off of TuneCore. So for those of y'all, again, you can go to TuneCore, you can go to CD Baby, you can go to DistroKid, and any various other distribution platform. Again, these are the aggregates that you go to upload your music to, and then they upload and put your music on all streaming platforms. That's how that happens. And then they collect your money from all the streaming platforms and you get paid from them, right? So what Runch said was the label stopped paying because there was a dispute between percentages and who gets what. But what Gooch has been saying the whole time is, no, it's about TuneCore. The label was not in control of the TuneCore. And why would the label, now think about this, the label is not involved in all of this business. The label Alamo in question didn't have anything to do with his old catalog and even part of the catalog since these two came in and signed him. So the dispute is not about the label at all. The dispute is about the independent distribution models that they were utilizing and their cut. And Greedo felt as if, for whatever reason, that they took a portion of money that was not entitled to them because it was off of revenue that was earned off of music that was produced before their deal existed. So he's like, man, now y'all getting overpaid. We got to figure this out, right? And he essentially rejects their access, denies their access to his TuneCore account and to be able to gain money off that until that's sorted out, right? Makes sense. But here's the but to that. But Runchy just said the label stopped cutting the check because of the percentages, but they had nothing to do with the label. See what I'm saying? The label knows everything's in stone with the label. They know who gets what money. Gooch is maintaining that the dispute is about TuneCore, not the label. So they're saying two different things.
Just me, him, and Runch. And
So the label side, they're not recouped yet. So they ain't cut nobody no checks outside of the advancement.
Well, when he was incarcerated, we actually, they wasn't gonna release any music because he wasn't here to promote it. And I ended up doing a 70-30 mixtape deal with the label just for 5 mixtapes. But he had so much music, so that's when I think the first one was the DJ Mustard project.
Yeah.
And then it went on from there to
So we said the first one was the DJ Mustard project. So let's go back to 03 Greedo, DJ Mustard. Just so we're clear, 03 Greedo, DJ Mustard, and that was a new album. That's a song. Where's the hold on? That was a new album called Still Summer in the Project. It's due out. Okay, so it came out. Still Summer in the Projects on Alamo Sony. Okay. So this was the first one. So let's go back. 03 Greedo, Discog. Boom. All right, let's check that Discog. Okay. Where's Still Some of the projects at? Port of the Great. Meet the Drummers. 03 in the Key. Feed the Wolves. Fuck everybody. Where's Still Some of the projects though? Am I not seeing it? 2019. That's not there as a mixtape. Okay, it's right here. Studio album. So it's 5 projects. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 4, 5. Okay. I just wanted to count that. Let's go.
the 5. So all this, he out of a contract with us and things like that. None of those projects really sold or mounted up to be an album. So technically, he still owed us 5 albums.
So it was mixtapes. Did they go on paperwork as mixtapes?
Mixtapes, yeah.
Yeah, that's the same problem Thug had with 300. Remember that? When he I dropped all these projects, but they was documented as mixtapes. Even though I tell
Same
people,
shit.
yeah, like a real mixtape is an artist rhyming over other niggas' beats.
That's what a real mixtape is.
Well,
Shout out
yeah.
DJ K Slate, DJ Drama, and the rest of them.
The real pioneers of this mixtape shit.
It's not that
Today,
simple
they
these
call
days,
them a mixtape. If it's original production, ain't no mixtape.
Right.
I don't care what you talking about, but because they be scared of what the sales gonna be, they'll call it a mixtape.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So you drop, that's to keep his name going.
Yeah, while he was incarcerated, we had to.
Yeah, I mean, you doing what you're supposed to do as a label.
Yeah. So that's what on but we never seen anything from it. And we supposed to, I had to set up the deal actually. At this time we got a new lawyer, Vince, out of the A. And Vince set up the deal. Me and Vince set up the deal. He was incarcerated, about to get out and shit. And we just was dropping. I ain't got no problem with drop. You know what I'm saying? We all get paid. So that's what happened. But one day we got a call from jail about the percentage. It's too much.
Oh, he wanted to change the 60-40.
Yeah.
He wanted the big homie Lily. He wanted to take that percentage out.
Yeah,
You feel me? We had a
pay
conversation
him.
about it in lunch. Like, nigga, like, this the big homie, nigga. Like, no, like, you got to keep on
The
keep
5%
5%.
Lily got.
So Greedo ended up getting mad about that too. You feel me?
But Lily 5% was coming from y'all or him?
It's all
From out of R40. Yeah.
Out of your 40, that had nothing to do with him.
Yeah, but to him, he's still in the paperwork.
Yeah.
That's just the way, certain people think. We not gonna think like that.
So he didn't want Lily part of nothing.
Nah.
And
And I wonder why that would be. Like they saying, that's a big homie, that's a G homie. And man, you gotta look out. You gotta look out for the turf. Point blank, period. Why wouldn't you? Certain people, it's just like I think with Derrick Rose Adidas deal, when part of the Adidas deal was that his best friend was given a contract and he was getting paid X amount of, like just looking out for the cookout, man, for niggas that you know what I'm saying, from the soil. Like that's just, what you call RNS, man, real nigga shit, man. He on real nigga time. So I don't understand it. And see when now I came with the defense, now I gotta look at the other side where Greedo, I mean, damn, you supposed to be Watts, you represent Watts and you ain't really grow here. You came here, we embraced you, but you ain't really grow here. And we trying to look out for a real Jordan Downs original, and you got a problem with it. And it's not even coming out of your pocket or your cut. You shouldn't have a problem with that.
Lily's 5% is coming from y'all 40%.
Yeah.
Yeah, he crazy.
And then as a when you're doing a production, homie, you don't get an artist 60%. You know that.
I mean, it
You
all
don't take
depends.
control, but I'm just saying,
It all
a nigga, we wasn't no bad
That's what you're saying.
We
Yeah,
ain't
you
get
gave him more,
publishing.
yeah.
No, nothing. We
Oh,
took
y'all didn't do
40.
no pub deal with him?
No pub deal with Alabama.
Nah.
We get all this publishing.
Y'all get all the pub.
Man,
As a
team, we get it, but we didn't give them no publishing,
Alamo didn't get nothing.
No.
Okay. So did y'all go do a pub deal on him eventually?
He set one up when we was in jail, but
Set up
basically
one, but we didn't fall through because we started having a situation. And that's
Also, he f***ed his money off.
I mean,
Because back when he
I
had
don't
the
know what the
bug,
business is doing right now.
So just so y'all understand what a production deal is, and just to give validity to what the brothers are saying, a production deal is a legal agreement between an artist and a production company where the production company signs the artist and invests in producing and recording their music. So again, sometimes, you might think a production deal is like, you think the producer is who makes the beats. No, the production deal is, I'm giving you a deal and I'm going to produce you. I'm going to bankroll your career and your art in order for us to profit from it, right? So we are producing, not producing in the sense that we're making beats. We are literally creating you as a product. We're making your music into a product through our investment capital, right? So again, a production deal is a legal agreement between the artist and production company where the production company signs the artist and invests in producing and recording their music. The production company then tries to find a major label to distribute the music. So now you ain't got a major deal. But here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to produce you. I'm going to put my money to you and I'm going to produce you and get you to a place where you're going to get the attention of the major label. And then we're going to sign to them to distribute you. We already are putting the money up on the front end. So now we need them to distribute that. But now when that big deal comes from the major to distribute you, we get in on the deal because we put up the investment dollars, right? Here are some things to consider about production deals. The artist and the production company may split royalties 50-50. However, some means the minority. Production companies may try to get a higher royalty, such as 50% or more. So the standard here is 50%. So when they say that they took 40 as opposed to 50, that's consistent with what's the norm, that they're actually were looking out for the little homie in 03 Greedo. So I would definitely say that they looked out there, and that That's a good piece of evidence to validate their argument and their intentions, that they didn't have these ill intentions, that they're ever trying to mess him over or anything like that, right?
But
contractually, y'all entitled to some of the pub?
of course,
Yes, of course.
Oh yeah, y'all need to call Simran Singh, let him get on it. Cause if they cut a check,
oh yeah, you know I ain't doing no boss tripping.
yeah, they cut a check, y'all
You got
supposed to
to
get
pay.
y'all cut.
All right.
Yeah, I mean business is stealing.
But so then he's like, his accusation in the video that he put out the other day is that there were just random songs that you guys were taking the money out from those songs.
No.
He was saying just random amounts was coming out,
Right.
but it was a random amounts because I controlled the count.
And I was sending the money because I had a cell phone in jail the whole time.
So he was controlling the
And
tune
signing off
core.
on albums and mixtapes and shit.
I was controlling the count because everybody in this room know I've been a fair dude all my life. I've been getting money since 14.
Yeah. You
whole
ain't
lot
gonna do no. You might do some taking, but you ain't gonna do no stealing
at all.
It's a difference.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't steal. I take. You know,
Hey,
Taking is from a stranger.
Big difference between taking and stealing. Big difference. Big difference between robbing and stealing. That's what he's saying. Big difference between a robbery and a burglary, even in the court of law.
stealing is a doing some backdoor shit. If I just happen to have a problem with you and I ran into you, in the midst of me running to you, you have some things on you that I can feel could be real disrespectful to you, I'm gonna take that. I'm not gonna steal. You gonna know I did it. Take it is when you know exactly who did it. Stealing is when a motherfucker go take something and you trying to figure out who did it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I ain't doing no stuff.
Yeah, he not
Ain't
doing
never
it.
been my MO. I ain't never been a liar or a thief.
So it sounds to me like it was a basic problem of. Did he have an accountant?
No.
Nah, we had
It could have
one.
been. It could have been fixed. It was simple shit. You
He
feel
wanted
me?
people to feel sorry for him and side with him. You know, that's like the easy route out to say a motherfucker stealing you and look what type of niggas is around you. So, you know, the fans believe that. He might have believed it, but you won't.
Yeah, I
what I'm
know
saying?
better. I know you.
Yeah. You know,
It's
that shit-
just different.
the situation basically could have been fixed. You know, and then you write letters and tell the hood like, oh man, they stole. After everything could have been really fixed. You know what I'm saying? It was just shit like that going on, and you know, like it was some bullshit, man. Could have been worked
Hey.
out though.
Lambo 4 in here. Have you ever had a stealing problem?
Not that I've heard of.
Yeah, he ain't, you know what I'm saying? And that ain't gonna happen.
So by the time he gets out, are you guys still in communication, or is it like completely deaded by that
He's
point?
communicating a little bit, but through the lawyers. And I think it just went cold turkey, huh?
I ain't talked to him at all. I mean, he was hitting you up. He was mad.
Well, look, nephew.
Yeah.
You know I be knowing what's going on, right?
Yeah.
You know, every now and then I call you. I tend to call you at certain times.
Yeah.
And I may just call and say, yeah, everything cool, right? As long as I can hear you and hear the tone in your voice, you know, I know you. We done did a few dances, right?
Yeah.
So I know you talk to him. You in the studio.
Yeah.
You might not know I know, but you went and had a conversation with him
Yeah.
at the studio.
Yeah. I got it.
It was unexpected
I got some calls from
visit.
yeah.
Now, how did that
You popped up on him
He definitely did.
once he got out? How many days or how long after he got out?
I mean, at the end of the day, the lawyers was kind of trying to get things right. So I had patience and I tried to make it work.
He went by himself. I got the call.
Yeah.
And I called you. I didn't tell you why I was calling.
Yeah.
But I called you. And you went to the studio and he had a few people with him from your neighborhood. And you respectfully asked him to stay where they was at. And you had a conversation with him. But in that conversation, they told me he was saying, Runch, I'm going to get you right.
Yeah, he was. And Lily.
Somebody in the room told me he told you that.
Yeah, that's like your studio.
Yeah, you know. And you was respectful. Y'all shook, and that was it. So what happened after that?
About our conversation in the little side room.
Yeah.
And he was saying like, I ain't with Gooch. I'm gonna get you an L straight woo. And he brought up Gooch again. I say, look, homie, Gooch ain't here to defend himself, so don't bring up Gooch no more. But you know, he was a deer with headlights on, so it was different. And maybe you were just telling me what you wanted me to hear because I was right there, but I just felt like nigga, we can get this right. This ain't nothing to be going back and forth about. You owe. You know you owe.
So what happened after that conversation where it was an understanding?
What I really think though, what happened, I think two things. It could have been his lawyer, his new lawyer, that's kind of like trying to play hardball and tell him whatever his side of it.
Yeah, but lawyers there to facilitate, not dictate.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, don't no lawyer mind dictate shit.
And
Well, they give you a lot of advice too.
They facilitate. If I was talking to you and we negotiating a deal, I may be doing this deal a certain way because of how you did a deal prior to me a certain way, right? And I'm going to tell my lawyer, these are my terms, this is what it is. Make sure it's read that way. He can't tell me this is what you need to do because I know I did that deal with you based on probably some other stuff you done for me.
But a lot of times when you're paying a lawyer, part of the reason you're paying them is because they've got experience in this sort
I
of
don't
thing.
know.
And
All I need you to do is what I'm telling you I agreed to, structure it in legal form. Don't tell me what percentage I should do. Don't tell me I don't give a what you're talking about. I'm going to fire you.
I might ask the lawyer, like, what's average? What's normal in this situation?
Okay, if you just did a deal with me or whack, I'm bringing you in on this shit. Had nothing to do with me, but you been my partner. We hustling. They came to me because of this. I'm going to give you 35% of this, right? You didn't have to tell me nothing. You could have did that. I would have never known, right? So something pop up with me, right? Yo, Adam, I got this thing, whoop. It's big money. They giving us some money up front. We're going to go 60-40. I'm going to give you 40%. My lawyer's not going to tell me that's too much or what you said. Like,
But somewhere
getting this shit right.
making it right.
You know what I'm saying? He was.
Everybody got a little purple on. But one dude, his eyes tell on him, right? That let me know is proper representation with y'all, right? And I'm pretty sure, because I know I get it. When I be doing business with people, the homies be on me about what I shouldn't do, and then I do it, right? I'm pretty sure some
I want to jump ahead to this snitching allegation.
people over there who was like, I told y'all so, right?
I mean, yeah,
Right?
these my brothers right there, and they know. Like we kind of real click tight. We
Yeah.
ain't just with no niggas. We go to the club, we gonna fight the whole club.
No, that's a
Get to the
fact.
parking lot, we gonna do whatever else in the parking
That's a
lot.
fact. Rucci got in his bloodline. You know, his daddy got a crazy story. Hey, when is his in you, is in you, right?
His daddy got a crazy story. So just so y'all understand about his daddy's story, you know, Brian Brim Sr. One life sentence and two truths. Boom. So it said, I started selling drugs because I felt as if I would never make it in life. I felt like I never had the choice and right tools to legitimately succeed. Using an analogy of dying of thirst and offer a glass that is dirty and offer another glass that is moderately dirty, you will choose from one of those glasses of water when you are dying from thirst. I unconsciously limit my choices to the two glasses of water. I thought I would be smarter and only sell drugs to get through a tough time, but it ended with me being arrested. Now I'm a man who only knows the value of my life and the people around me. It took me some time to figure it out and stop being upset and take responsibility for my actions and become aware that the right way is the long way and learning to appreciate what I've earned. All right. So, there's, but he got this ain't. Yeah, he had that life sentence. He had that life sentence. It don't really go too much into, I think his sentence. Hold on. I think he had quite the murder case, right? Hassan was telling me all about, that Brent family. So you gotta react to why so Woody and Charleston White 25. Man, Woody's done so many. I reacted to one. I took it down. It didn't do well. I'm probably gonna put it back up. Charleston, okay, definitely though. I'm on it. I'm gonna get back on the 20v1 reactions very soon. So many. We just letting them pile back up, y'all. But okay, back off into this.
All our parents and uncles and shit is the founders of this shit. Ain't nobody came from
That Brand family, very infamous and strong, deeply rooted in the Jordan Downs housing projects, man. But really rooted, going all the way back to that Louisiana.
nowhere. Straight in Watts. So it's a difference than coming from somewhere else playing. You know what I'm saying? Like, our bloodline is the founders of this shit. Not no tag alongs, none of that shit.
Yeah.
We
So
ain't got a choice.
now you got contracts. It's money that he collected, and y'all never got y'all cut. Pretty much what I'm hearing. While he was in there, right?
Yeah, everything just was piling up until he came home. Even when he got out, you know, still was at it. Shit was freezed and everything. But
And could y'all see the amount or no?
no,
He changed all the
lawyers have to deal with that part.
and your lawyers couldn't.
They wasn't trying to turn over the proper things and none of
Going
that.
through litigation and shit like that. So it was going through litigation, and then, you know, Runch ended up having a conversation with him. It's supposed to have been worked out. Then the nigga get the plan and shit like that. He didn't want to talk to me. You feel me? So he was like fake beefing with me about some shit.
Yeah, I sent over all the bank statements from the label. Like from 2017, like I said, it wasn't number 3. The max was 4 payments. We didn't make no $2 million.
But I seen you wire this girl like 45,000. Another.
That was the first payment we got. That was his 60%. So, you know what I'm saying? Now the second payment, I believe, where the second payment go? Where Vince sent that to?
The payment came, the second payment
Vince kept it in his account and then got it to him, right?
No, it was something to where we left something in his account when he didn't get that phone access. And
He didn't call us
we
when
got
we got the money
withdrawals
at the time.
out, right? Basically, because when I used to send the money down, Runch used to go to my mom and take my mama cash money. You feel me? He get Lily his money because me and Greedo was in jail, and Runch was the only person that was the custodial of the account. So he used to get Greedo money and ask him like, "Well, you wanted that? Oh, go give it to my wife."
Yeah, that was
Go take mine to my mama. You
that
feel
was
me?
one time.
Yeah.
Because
So
after that, it was like the lawyers was involved and they got to shoot it to him.
yeah.
His 60% never came to us. You know what I'm saying? So whatever came from TuneCore and it said it came to our business account was our 40%, none less, none more.
So the stuff he was showing on Instagram.
So whatever came from TuneCore and it said it came to our business account was our 40%, none less, none more.
So the stuff he was
See, but hold on though. Hold on again. Let's go back to the TuneCore. He said whatever came to the TuneCore that came from our business account was our 40%, nothing less, nothing more. That's possible. But what he's saying is that 40%, you were getting 40% of songs that you are not entitled 40% on. Songs that were released prior to us signing an agreement where you were going to get 40%. So you end up getting more money. I think that's what the point of contention is. And this is why, again, Leviticus 19 commands us to do what? To not lie, nor steal, nor deal falsely with one another. We're not supposed to have false dealings, right? And this is, again, why the laws of God are what we so desperately need as Black and Hispanic people, man, because let's go here again. Leviticus 19:11. Well, of course, that's going to happen. Jesus Christ. Let's look at this couple translations. Ye shall not steal, nor neither deal falsely, neither lie one to another. Do not steal, do not lie, do not deceive one another. You shall not steal, you shall not deal falsely, you shall not lie to one another. Do not steal, do not act deceptively, or lie one to another. You see that? Deception. Just word for deal falsely. I'm gonna just show y'all that in the Hebrew real quick, right? Right, kakash, right? To deceive, to lie, to fail, to grow lean, to be disappointing, to be untrue, to be insufficient, to be found liars, to be lied, to deny, to dissemble, to deal falsely, to become lean, to cringe, to feign obedience, to deceive, deny falsely, to act deceptively, to cringe, to disappoint, fail, to cringe, to feign obedience. Feign obedience means you're faking like you're being obedient, but you're really not, right? And I feel like there's some layer of deceit. You know, sometimes they say there's 3 sides to every story: my side, your side, and of course the truth. And you know, I think there's one of them situations. Give me 1 second, though, y'all. I'll be right back. All right, let's get back into it.
The lawyers was involved and they got to shoot it to him.
Yeah.
His 60% never came to us. You know what I'm saying? So whatever came from TuneCore and it said it came to our business account was our 40%. None less, none more.
So
So let's just, scriptures say we got to, hear both sides real quick. So let's listen.
All right, enough is enough. I apologize. I got to jump out of character to my fans. I try to keep it so professional for so long about my ex-management, but they're steady being disrespectful. So I ain't never want to have to do this shit and expose all this shit about these young niggas stealing out of my account while I was in prison. What happened was TuneCore took some of my music down and I needed it back up. So we had a manager named, a lawyer named David McGriff that helped us. And they fired Dave to get my password. And then instead of putting my music back up, they started withdrawing money out of my TuneCore. And it ended up adding up to $250,000. And I know that shit hurts them because they never really still seen what $250,000 was because they was little by little in it. These individuals are just some bitch ass niggas that's like, it's like when they see a cool nigga, they want to be cool. You wanted to endorse me when you thought that we was in business. Now you want to.
And that's what I was saying. Now, mind you, I hadn't seen this. And you wanted to endorse him as this, very serious member of the Grapes. And now, you want to go against bro. Very interesting, right? Let's listen to a little bit more of this.
Pretend I'm a snitch. I want you to post all your. All right, enough is enough.
Okay, so that was just a little 1 minute clip. I wonder if there's a little more. This is this dude with the commentary.
Apologize. I got to jump out of character to my. And it ended up adding up to $250,000. And I know that shit hurts them because they never really still seen what $250,000 was because they was little by little in it. These individuals are just some ass niggas that's like, it's like when they see a cool nigga, they want to be cool. You wanted to endorse me when you thought that we was in business. Now you want to pretend I'm a snitch.
Yeah, 1090J made a whole video about 03 Greedo allegedly snitching. Y'all can also check that out if y'all haven't seen it.
So at this point, these niggas keep on. If y'all don't know, like about, this nigga got these rumors on him. So this is from these niggas that used to manage me, Runch and Gooch, right? So one nigga from like our enemy projects and another nigga from like this hood down the street that killed Lil Money. So it's just like, nigga, I already don't really with you, but I'm just like, I'm a genuine guy. I'm pretty cool. I'm just trying to help people. That's all I do is help people. You know what I mean? And they kill them rumors on them. So this is from these niggas that used to manage me, Runch and Gooch, right? So one nigga from like our enemy projects and another nigga from like this hood down the street that killed Lil Money. So it's just like, nigga, I already don't really with you, but I'm just like, I'm a genuine guy. I'm pretty cool. I'm just trying to.
Hold on, I think I'm missing something there. Let's take a listen again.
If y'all don't know, like about, this nigga got these rumors on him. So this is from these niggas that used to manage me, Runch and Gooch, right? So one nigga from like our enemy projects and another nigga from like this hood down the street that killed Lil Money.
So I'm kind of confused about that statement and exactly what that statement means. It indicates is he saying that Runch and Gooch are in bed with niggas from enemy projects? Now I happen to know, of course, because Lil Bro that's his people, that some of their family is up out the, even though the majority out the JDs, some of them are about the Nickersons. Is he referring to the Nickersons or is he referring to the PJs? Who is he referring to? Or is he referring to the East Coasters? Who is he referring to?
So it's just like, nigga, I already don't really with you, but I'm just like, I'm a genuine guy. I'm pretty cool. I'm just trying to help people. That's all I do is help people. You know what I mean? And they just took advantage of that shit. And I think when I had 20 years, they didn't think that I could return. They didn't know that Texas has ag and non-ag charges. Any of my Texas niggas can get in the comments and let them know.
And now that's a good point too. I'm forgetting that detail. And this is why it's good to hear both sides of the story so you can formulate your judgment on it. Because if you think this dude's going to be going for a dub, let's get his music out. Let's make as much money as we can, and let's go ahead and put our finger in the pot because he is in the penitentiary. He doesn't have access to this information, to these numbers, to these accounts, to this money, nothing. He doesn't have any of it. So if somebody is grimy, not assigning these guys this motive or necessarily accusing, but this does give motive. You have access to my money in my TuneCore, and you don't think I'm getting out for 20 years, you might feel comfortable with running off with the bag. I don't think that that's too too far-fetched of a concept. We know what money does and how it gets in the way and how it changes people, how people turn on each other, how people backbite, backstab each other over money all the time. That's real, right? All praise. Look, I'm saying all praise to the chat, not to niggas backdooring each other. That's crazy.
I don't know, bro. I could kind of take that shit, a nigga playing with my name. You're lying, you know what I'm saying? So go ahead and post whatever you're trying to. These niggas crazy. I don't know. I never even seen a police report until the situation. I'm used to seeing niggas paperwork, you know what I'm saying? So any nigga in prison chime in or, I don't know, bro. But niggas went online. We can't do gangster slow. He thought going on no jumper and playing was live. Like, you being friends with a nigga that's weird ain't viral. Like, you already friends with a nigga that's not accepted in the streets from the valley. You feel me? You had to go. Bro, everybody knows me, bro. Everybody knows me in Compton, Long Beach, Inglewood, Gardena, Watts, Sac, Oakland, San Francisco, Modesto, Stockton. Like, bro, I was outside. They know me in Atlanta. They know. So just for y'all, I'm gonna delete this later, but that's the nigga starting the rumors. It would never take that long to get like some real great evidence to show that he's obviously telling, but they don't have it. So that was going on. These niggas got mad that I got a car because they stole $250,000. I'm gonna post some more of this paperwork on where they stole money from, you know. So that's what happens. It's rough being from Great. Craziest shit is Gooch was my boy. He actually used to live at my house, and I'm also close with his family. So that shit just heard me that like, nigga, I'm trying to give you a chance to fix where you f***ed up, but your ass slow. You hear me? I don't give a about Wrench. I was never your boy. You was a
Wow. Wow.
Gooch. Your ass so scared of nigga. You f***ed up your life. You f***ed the way you get money. You're the dumbest I know. Both you niggas is the dumbest I've ever met. Nobody's scared of you niggas, bro. What grown rich nigga scared of you, bro? Let's think about how much my car costs and how much a person costs, nigga. What are you, like, what the fuck are you? Crip, you can't keep acting like I'm only a genius when I rap. I'm running circles around you slow ass niggas, 2 whips up. Ain't you at your granny house? Ain't you at your granny house, bro? Ain't you just was at your granny house, bro? Hey, so from now on, we just make fun of niggas. Like, we gonna make fun of Raunchy. The other
Oh, I heard that. Raunchy instead of Raunchy.
nigga,
Shout out Raunchy though.
you don't have to give him a nickname. He named after like the piece of meat between your nuts and that. I don't even understand why would you want that to be your name. But look, bro, I really wish I didn't have to be beef with my boy Gooch. He's already. But look, bro, this is the thing, bro. You being scared of a broke and teaming up with him when he's the reason, you made it seem as if he stole and you.
Now this is a problem too, because again, now he's attacking Runchy and he calling him broke. But the reality is Runchy is Kevin Gates' artist. My fault, y'all. My fault. But you know, Wrench broke. He's Gates' artist. I mean Gates' manager, and Gates, you know, Gates does business, so he gets, you know, paid off of Gates and what he does for Gates. So I called seriously in the question that Wrenchy is broke by any stretch of the imagination.
You just didn't want to stand up against him. So you still don't. Y'all niggas talk shit about each other when y'all not with each other. So when y'all walk up together, I don't feel like it's a firm, you know what I'm saying? A solid foundation. Like, you just crazy. Listen, man. You and your uncle can't pull up on me talking regular and then get away from me and talk reckless, bro. On Crip, I'll crash out. You know I'll crash out.
Man, it's crazy when your management turn into your opponent. Now your boy 03 Greedo ready to crash out on him. That's what he said in his Instagram story. He said, I had you spooked in West LA. Remember, Gooch? You don't remember running inside my house saying he got a gun? Or was I high? He said, tell these fools what happened in Chicago, Gooch. He said, Runch, remember we had you spooked in Oakland, finna break your finger on the elevator? I know your girl do. We was laughing in your face. Then you wouldn't come to Sac or Oakland no more. You still ain't get put off badass gangsters over there on 110th. He said, these guys ready to expose you.
See, and that's, remember, now I mentioned, that's funny. What I mentioned last week, or I mentioned at some point, a hood called the Badass Gangsters. They said some content I did, I mentioned that, you know, and knowing niggas from places like that. And you have to really be in the streets, but it's a lot of them guys in Watts, right? Like if you look up right now, boom, watch. No, let's go here. Badass Gangster Crap. BAGC. You see that? Now watch this. See, watch Badass Gangster Crap, 107th Street. Right. They still out. Don't get it twisted. But hold on. Watch Badass Gangster. Is this the one? Watch this. Peace Case, Nader Cash House. Watch this. Nader Weaponing. It's one of these. Nah. It may not be the, because you got the 10 lines and the badass. What was that? But yeah, so you got certain of these smaller hoods in Watts that people may not know about, but eventually some of them members end up getting absorbed up in the grape. That happens. You see what I'm saying? That happens with anywhere. Any place where you got this gigantic hood, this machine like grape, or like the ETGs, like the Hoovers, like the 60s, the 40s, etc. You might have some smaller stuff, like you had the Top Dollar Hustle 4.6s, the WDCs like S-Bone, We Don't Cares. They end up getting absorbed by the larger entity. You see what I'm saying? So stuff like this happens. But I met a nigga, Badass Gangster Crip, in the streets at a motel party, nigga, damn near 20 years ago. You feel me? So that's how I know the Badass Gangster, really knowing them in the streets, you know. And he used to stay in the turf too on 78th in Vermont, matter of fact. So, you know, but stuff like this happens. So when Greedo is saying that, I believe that there is credence to it, that niggas ain't just entirely manufacturing situations and cases and things of that nature, right? So they saying some things about him, but he also is saying some things about them, right? That could possibly be valid either way, right?
Crip, I'll crash out. You know I'll crash out.
Man, it's crazy when your management turn into your opponent. Now your boy 03 Greedo ready to crash out on him. That's what he said in his Instagram story. He said, I had you spooked in West LA. Remember, Gooch? You don't remember running inside my house saying he got a gun? Or was I high? He said, tell these fools what happened in Chicago, Gooch. He said, Runch, remember we had you spooked in Oakland, finna break your finger on the elevator? I know your girl do. We was laughing in your face. Then you wouldn't come to Sac or Oakland no more. You still ain't get put off badass gangsters over there on 110th. He said these guys ready to expose you. You stole out my tune core and I'ma post it too. What y'all think 03 Greedo supposed to do? Comment down below and I get back at y'all in the next video. Deuces.
Okay, let's go.
Stuff he was showing on Instagram Live, or he was
That
talking
came
about.
to our account. Yeah, from the
That's
tune
what you're
core that
talking
he
about
had
here.
control of, right? Yeah, so that's all lies.
And there been times like where like it was only one time this happened. We let his percentage up in the TuneCore account, but we withdrew our percentage.
Right.
We telling him, so he's like, man, where the money go? Y'all usually withdraw the money. Man, look, bro, you didn't have no access to your phone. So we left that up in there. But he got confused and like, man, y'all started, you feel me? Like he's saying we stole some money from him. Shit
Yeah,
like
so
that.
this, if 100,000 came, not
Yeah.
saying it, y'all simply took 40, left 60 there.
For him, right. And now,
So why couldn't he see that?
Man, nigga retarded, man. He
then
dumb
he
as
paid
fuck, he don't know no
$15,000
business.
for his appeal lawyer.
Oh, without him
He
even
paid
talking.
that without him even on the
Yeah.
phone.
I
He
was
did
in
that.
jail. I was sitting in the pen. I was just Ironwood. I was on 3 yard in Ironwood.
That came out of your money.
Man, look.
He
What
paid
you
That
that.
came out out of Greedo money, but
He
I
paid
know
it from the business.
from the business.
Yeah, yeah.
Basically, this is a situation that happened.
And then we registered down there 300 songs that wasn't registered because he don't know business
So he was uploading shit.
last year to lose all
Y'all
this
double back and
and
rewrite.
paid
Yeah.
that.
through our new lawyer.
Like,
You got a sound exchange, all that shit.
Yeah, they
everything,
charged
right?
y'all for that.
come on now. That shit
Yeah, they
ain't free.
charge us. Yeah, they charge us like what, 10,000
Something like
But that was an investment for y'all to generate some money.
Yeah.
to generate some money. We got that shit documented.
Yeah.
We saved this whole catalog.
Now, hey, that also sounds believable. Why? Because it's mutually profitable for everybody. They don't even have to dip into and do nothing shady. They still are profiting 40% off of damn near half of the money. So that's sensible that they did that, and it was mutually beneficial for all parties involved.
I don't think you can steal in music because it's too much wires and
Everything
banging.
documented, you know what I'm saying? So it's your
Footprints.
couch. Why the f some dummies?
For him to say some stuff like, I don't think you can steal in music, yet the music industry is well known as where people get robbed the most. Bobby Brown said he got $300 in a VCR for being in New Edition. People steal in music all the time. So that's insane for you to say that, bro. It is.
To steal some money out your account, your name on it, Black 100, your name on the account, and we gonna just steal this, nigga. We'll take this from you, nigga.
Hey, Wack,
You feel me?
have I ever stole from Kevin?
Nah,
I
never.
stole from whatever
Like, I
I
don't
did
do
with
no
Rod
stealing.
Wave when I signed Rod Wave to Kevin.
You definitely did the Rod Wave deal.
Yeah, like
Kevin trusts you with his life. That's
See, but now, and that's fair, and I'm not accusing you of stealing. But here's what I will say: if you look at Greedo as lesser than, if you look at him like, man, he really just somebody claiming the hood and stuff like that, you may do it to him. You may categorize him differently than you would Gates or a Rod Wave. And what also might play into it is that he was less lucrative than either of them. Because, yeah, I'm sure Greedo has been lucrative, and shout out to him. He's getting his money and he's well known in a few more markets than the average LA artist for sure. But we got to be honest here. California artist is not really popular outside of the West Coast. Period. It's just a fact. As somebody who is from the West Coast and is currently in Atlanta, lived in Texas, I'm all over the place. I'm constantly in Florida, New York. In these markets, bro, these people are not familiar with and or interested in or playing any West Coast artists for the majority of it. And again, Greedy's a more popular than average West Coast artist, but he's still not cracking like that enough to where, you know, like a Rod Wave is or like Gates was when he was getting really active with the music. Just not. So, you know, stuff like that is things that we got to look at, you know. Whereas, of course, you might not steal there, but you may feel a necessity to do it here because this deal ain't as lucrative. Again, not saying that he stole anything, but just being objective about the things that are being said, the evidence, the situation, etc. Because we always have to enter things with objectivity. We just have to. That's called righteous judgment. When you enter into things with objectivity, you take yourself, your personal feelings, convictions, who you like more, etc., totally out the equation and just deal with what's what, right? Stealing happens in the music business. Don't try to act like it don't. This is probably the most thief-ridden industry you've ever heard of. And there's documentary after documentary, story after story after story of this, man. I talked to a girl, a beautiful young lady here in Atlanta, who's a waitress one time. I'm talking to her, and she's kind of she's telling me about she's telling me about what is she telling me about? She's telling me, so boom, she tells me I remind her of somebody. I look like somebody. This other Haitian dude, actually. And that's for y'all out there. Like, oh man, there's a lot of Haitians that look like me. Anyway. And but he was a music producer. I ain't gonna put his name out there. But he was responsible for she was signed to him and his brother for a long time. And during that time, they signed another artist, and they essentially took from her and gave it to the other artist, and we all as the world watched that other artist ascend into stardom. And his name was in the headlines recently, and they did that basically stealing from her, and she never received anything from it at all. And she gave a considerable amount, I think 7 years of her life, to the production company, all for them to take her art and give it to another artist and him to be catapulted. So that's just one of many stories. Of course, other artists who I've been close with, who are major artists, have confided in me in regards to how much they've been screwed over and stole from in the music business. And production companies are arguably one of the bigger crooks because, y'all have so much investment risk. So y'all are typically, as production companies, more prone to stealing, to robbing, to proverbially raping the artist. Right? But let's get back to it.
It's Kevin Gates.
Yeah,
You really signed Rod Wave to Kevin Gates in what year?
That.
he
Did that. He just be.
I
We
didn't
can't
know
well be mad at him. The mother always want to be over there and fly on the wall. He could have been out front with it. That's just not his character and personality because of who he was and what he stood for, being from Grape Street. He never was able to shake that. Because Runchy was always one of them, he was the Bush people to be, right? So I'm like, yo, Nev, people need to know who you are in this game. What K-Slate did for me, I was the same way. Man, I ain't my own, all that, just to give me the money.
Right.
He still, if you see Kevin Gates, 80% of the time, you see Runch. You see DeRozan. If you look on the pop-out shit, you see Runch.
And we got a pop-up shop on Saturday at 12 o'clock in Compton, Comp 10. So I don't think I'm hurting for anything.
No, but it's a lot he's done that he don't come out and he don't want the light on him. And I think this is why Greedo was able to do what he did, because people don't know who the you are. They don't know the things you've done, the doors you open up. I know because you always call me and be like, this what I'm doing, am I moving right? You remember when you called me with them people on the phone? What I tell them, the label.
Yeah.
I'm not doing nothing, signing off nothing unless Runch got his paperwork. Don't call me.
Let's be real, like this exact situation where an artist gets signed, and at first it's like, oh, the label or the management company is getting X percentage, and it seems okay because they understand that they're in the growth stage of their career, and then at some point the check gets bigger and bigger, and especially while he's locked up, so he's not seeing them. So in his head, he starts thinking like, why the f am I paying $40,000 or whatever it is? Like, I've seen that happen over and over and over with artists.
Listen, did you come?
Not to say it's right, but it's like a very common scenario, especially for somebody who doesn't have a shitload of business.
Do you know
experience.
what happened when they took 300 songs that wasn't registered?
You're talking old songs?
And got them registered? I don't give a if they old or new.
Yeah.
That means revenue.
That's a lot of money. It's a lot of money, man.
They did that. He's in jail.
And register meaning for publishing. And that's very important because the publishing checks are more substantial than the streaming checks. So a lot of us don't know that. A lot of us don't have our stuff registered. A lot of us just go submit our stuff to streaming platforms, and we don't realize that there's more money to get. And then there's other leverage that comes with having publishing, being able to sell publishing, being able to do a deal with your publishing for a time. All that plays a part.
So that's money that would have never went to the TuneCore. They're working. They're working for their money.
Right. Yeah. I mean, if you sign a deal, you sign a deal.
Artists, not even signed artists know about, bro. Yeah. Like this publishing, that shit is a whole different game. That's a different world on, you feel me? Different companies you got to register with and do different shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we do publishing, you feel me? Like that's something, like that's a lot of money involved in that shit, bro. So you got to know when we did that, we knew what type of money was going to come in. That like we took a loss. We didn't really take a loss, but you know, shit, that was a lot of work right there.
I really think y'all need to get with the right legal beagles. Somebody that's gonna be a little more aggressive and just close it out.
How are you gonna smear their legal team?
Man, we still ain't even got to the snitching, man. Hold on.
Are you confident in your lawyers?
You know, my legal team like me, they ain't around. Anything, my criminal attorney, yeah, if you ain't when I need you to go, you go.
What makes him decide to take aim at you guys on Instagram over the past week or two?
That'd probably be me.
You're part of the problem for sure.
No, I kept seeing
main character syndrome.
No, I kept seeing him say shit. Nephew, don't do that. So I addressed it on No Jumper, and then I called him. My mom called him maybe a couple weeks ago, and he said his little bit about it, and that was it. He was even respectful then. He still was withholding certain things from me. I would ask him for certain things, he wouldn't give them to me.
You got to be careful what you tell Wack.
Who?
Anyone.
No.
It could very easily be weaponized.
I'm going to weaponize it if you attacking my people.
Or if you're just having an off day.
I'm not the dude to come back and tell you I ran into dude and he said this about you and I ain't do nothing about it. I'm gonna say I ran into the nigga, this what he said, this what I did, and whatever you gonna do, you do. So if I see him constantly shooting subliminals at nephew, I'm gonna say something. You know I'm gonna say something.
Yeah. You gonna speak your piece.
He know that. I'm gonna say something.
Because were you guys not planning on trying to make this public or put it out there? Like you were just gonna let the legal proceedings take place?
Yeah.
Then yeah. I mean, because it was in motion.
Internet shit, man. You know that.
Yeah, you can talk all you want. You can win all that shit you want.
I don't do all this internet. You know, I know you. I could have been set up an interview like, hey, man, like, you know, I don't do this shit. I didn't run Lambo here. No, like, come on, man, and vouch and all type of shit. You know, I don't do this shit. You feel me? But you can't keep on letting people control the narrative with the false allegations. You know what I'm saying? This business. Still, you know?
Suge Knight. Suge Knight, this Grape Street niggas got this Lambo phone. He hot. We gonna try to steal this nigga. All right? I'm gonna call
you really like that too. That's really what he's doing.
My nigga, yeah, we gonna make this move. You know that shit you used to do. You know, we gonna offer him something, cut these niggas out of my let you. All right, Suge, 100.
We can work together. You ain't cutting us out.
Suge involved. That's a great idea.
Hey, listen, that's gonna be a great Pro Bowl clip. You know I'm working.
Nah, though, man. But like, no, we don't do all that shit, man. This shit been going on for like 5 years, bro.
So my question is, that's your friend. Why don't you just tell him to do what's right?
I'm not giving him business advice. He could do whatever he wants in that regard.
What do you mean?
It's got nothing to do with me.
Everything. You start the shit amongst our culture all the time.
I'm not as
We had like 5 beefs.
4 is accounting. Yeah, I've gotten you in 5 beefs.
The lefty fun play dude.
You did that yourself.
You started. I didn't even know the he was.
All I did was mention his name.
I didn't know who he was. You know that. I didn't know who he was.
You need more help. So on this, is that true or not?
About this situation?
Yeah.
Hell no.
Now he
did. No.
Every neighborhood is divided.
Well, I heard that there's a particular divide based on this. Is that true or not?
About this situation?
Yeah.
Hell no.
Now he can't divide Grape Street. He may have a few motherfuckers fucking with him, but
no.
If they get the politicking at that table, he ain't got that kind of voice.
It's not divided. And 6, 7 can't divide no Grape Street.
No, ain't.
Yeah, and that whole concept. So people be on the outside looking at my fault, y'all. Y'all wish I was king, y'all about y'all shop like that worth keep it 2 hour drive a lot. People be on the outside looking in and feeding into narratives like on the TV, on the internet. Oh, Grape is divided. Listen, number one, this is some rap stuff. Grape Street is a real thing, way beyond rap music. There's real stuff going on every day in those projects. You might have people who are taking different sides, but that's really not affecting the everyday niggas that's out there frontline trooping. These niggas have already elevated past that stage, and they on some business time and things of that nature. But them niggas that's frontlining, they not concerned with that. This isn't on the top of their priority list. You know, it's real life stuff going on over there in the JDs in West California, straight up and down. So nah. Whack be trying to draw fake paperwork and saying be trying because he's here to be successful. Now this is a great point also. Niggas always say I don't do this internet shit while doing this internet shit. That shit always kill me. You are doing this internet shit trying to convince me you're not doing what I'm watching you do. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't mind me in a second, y'all. I'm getting ready to start eating this fish too. Got me some good fish, man. You feel me, on that late night while I come stream. I'm feeling just hungry and I need, you feel me? So don't mind me in a second. I'm trying to hurry up and get to this alleged snitch paperwork and these allegations, man. We're trying to hurry up and get to that before we transition to the other topics.
Y'all come over here.
I ain't gonna happen.
They ain't.
Look at these niggas.
Like, how? Divide what?
That nigga put that outfit together. That nigga found them shorts. Listen, that shit. He looked the shorts rolled with the shoes.
Hey, Adam said it's Grape Street divided behind 03 Greedo.
Nah, that's a journalistic question. I have no knowledge. So with
I thought you heard that from somebody.
That's an old.
I heard that said, but I don't know.
That's an old neighborhood where them politics run deep.
The real always gonna ride with the real.
Yeah, that ain't cool.
We're gonna ride with the real. Only right is right. You know, I mean, we ride with the trenches.
Well, let me ask y'all a question. Let's say he came to his senses, maybe it was the powder. And he like, yo, let's bring this shit back together. Let's lock down the paperwork. Everybody gonna do what they supposed to do, and let's build. As he went too far for that to happen.
I'm gonna let him answer that.
Shit. Man, look, man, once a nigga cross you once, a nigga do it again, homie.
I mean, I understand that.
You feel me? Nigga, I handle my business because that's my business. But like, far as hanging and all, I ain't, nah.
So you could do the business.
Yeah, I mean, that's money. I mean, that's my money. You feel me? That's my family, right? That's how I feel.
But you're not gonna put the wall around him.
I mean, why would I?
That's a fact.
I mean, he got other situations that.
But when I'm on no paperwork.
Yeah.
So,
well, see, there you go. I haven't seen the paperwork. I don't know. Who did he go to jail with? Your family?
Yeah, my sister, baby daddy.
In Texas.
Jane, yeah.
He said something in the backseat. I stayed away from a lunch because of you.
His sister's baby daddy. Okay. So, again, if anybody, oh my goodness, my fault, y'all, my fault.
Did the time, I'm still on parole. My bro right here is with me. He's not in jail.
Right. So you're the dude that he was in the car with when y'all got caught up.
Yeah.
That's pretty legendary.
Now, if anyone's going to accuse him of snitching, right, it would probably have to be the guy that the other guy in the car who he's supposed to be snitching on. But here the individual is sitting next to him on this interview where he's clearing his name. What do we have to talk about? This dude's not sitting in jail, and it gets iller.
In and of itself. So, I mean, do you want to talk about what happened with that whole trip and everything, that you guys were on a mission, I guess, like, you know, handling some property, let's say. Allegedly. And was it that you guys were sleeping in a parking lot somewhere, or did you just get pulled over?
No, we got pulled over. We weren't sleeping in no parking lot.
All right, that's just something I heard over the years that I guess wasn't true. But so, I mean, I don't know how much you want to lay out the situation or whatever, but the cops pull you over and they felt like you were acting nervous, and they end up searching the trunk.
Yeah. Basically, man. Basically, they was gonna search the car anyway. They just was, when we got pulled over, they act like they smell weed or whatever.
Mm-hmm. You think that was cap?
Yeah.
That's just like the ultimate excuse for cops to search anybody.
How live am I to be smoking weed?
And that's what I thought when I heard it. I was like,
we didn't even have no weed, nothing. So that was
right. There's no weed in the evidence, so that's already some other shit there. But it's so much shit that's fucked up about how the police handle this. On top of this, you feel me? So it's just we talking the story. So we gonna try to. We don't want to act like we shying away from nothing that need to be brought up.
Mm-hmm.
So if before we leave, it's still like, nah, we don't try to dance. We ain't doing no dancing.
Mm-hmm.
But great. Shit, I was in the passenger side, sleep. You feel me? So where I said it at, like on great. So you saying who I'm talking to saying Listen. I'm under arrest. You hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Well, whatever the case is, I'm finna be under arrest. We know what's going on. I'm under arrest. I'm under the police. The police is right here. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Why the fuck am I saying something illegal is going on?
Right.
I feel like something illegal going on. Bitch, I'm gonna go to jail too. I'm under arrest. Why would I say I feel like something illegal going on?
Right.
So
and we was together that whole time.
So when
CC always got some good insight. Let's read. Any nigga sent with whack, a question integrity. Cash Jones already confirmed confidential source 137 on Main Street. Wow. If you're such a street nigga, how you politic the streets with the confirmed round? All whack does is sow discord amongst the community. Calling jail pro. Well, it's a lot of people's opinions. It's interesting and it's a valid question. The business talk was cool. Now let's get into this snitch thing with this smut that they're trying to put up on Greedo name. This snitch smut, right? But like, if you sit next to a nigga I'm posally stitching on, he's not in jail, I'm not in jail. We're both corroborating what happened. What do we have to talk about? Then the lawyer corroborates what happened. Then it was the police was playing dirty and try to do it. The police do that. We know that. We know we don't just go off the police's word, right? We know the police is trying to fuck niggas over, especially in certain parts of the country where they're a little bit more prone to blatant racism, which they are everywhere. But everybody knows there's certain areas that have more of a stigma of that. Texas being one of them. What are we talking about here? So this whole snitch thing and now he's a claimer, and it seems like the business went bad, and potentially there is some very bad blood over the souring of the business relationship that is leading to a smear campaign. That's just frankly what I'm seeing right now.
When I said that, do you think if I was with this nigga next to him, or if he was with me next to me, and somebody said, I feel like something illegal going on, we ain't going to the hood, man, that's so
I wouldn't have
did
that.
you?
Right, because they said that you said that you got paid $3,000 to do this drive, and that you felt like something illegal was going on.
Yeah, that's cap.
If you were saying that right in front of your partner who you were with, I mean that does
He
kind of hard to wrap your head
went
around.
viral. Mind you, I went to jail for this 2 years later, kept running and getting caught.
Right.
If I'm going to tell on a nigga, why they keep coming trying to get me? Why they ain't finding his location? Why they want me? They coming and keep getting the snitch? They came and got the snitch again? What the fuck? Okay, so where my part of the deal win at then?
Uh-huh.
I'm still on parole till I'm fucking 50.
Right.
What I'm winning off this shit. Okay, I just did 5. I just left June 2018. I came back. What is this? What month is this now? This July 2023. This is 5 years later.
Uh-huh.
But it's 7 years from the actual stop. So 7 years after the actual stop, all of a sudden, I'm a snitch.
Right.
Huh?
Where was all this snitch talk all this time? And of course, after our business goes bad, now I'm magically a snitch. What does he say? Never go off a police statement if there's body cam footage that's different, not just what the police said you said. Because let me tell you what it's not even admissible in court for real. No. Not that it's not admissible in court, but you're not under oath. So now you said something, you could contradict what you said to the police under oath and say that, well, no, I didn't say that, or they led me into that, or they had me under duress. But this is what I'm saying under oath. Regardless, though, he was the one being hunted. He was the one that got the worst extent of the punishment. So how is he the one that told?
What the fuck is this? And it fucked my head up for days because I'm like, what is that paper on Gracie? What is that? Because I ain't never got my discovery. I had to pay a lawyer that even didn't do what he was supposed to do, which is why I have action at habeas corpus because of ineffective counsel.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't my lawyer go file the same motions that his team did? So I didn't even know I could get out of jail. I was already in jail for 2 years before he went to jail. If I told on this nigga, instead of giving the nigga I'm telling on, I'm gonna get on a plane and turn myself in.
Right.
When I was just with all these rappers you just named?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
What the fuck? So instead of just staying in this mansion and saying he's right here.
Right.
Huh? So anyways, okay, so I'm fucked up, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just doing my time on great. Everybody say, oh, O3 look like you gained some weight. Bitch, have you seen a Texas nigga? I'm down here squabbing and everything. I'm real life on the main line, PC'd up. This is a fucking real prison. I'm going through it in this bitch. I'm catching COVID in this bitch. Niggas dying in this bitch. Niggas off tune, dying off tune. Niggas snorting shit. That's why I don't snort shit no more. Cause nigga, I done seen niggas that I hang with, niggas that I shake hands with, just die in front of, man, listen, I just went through some traumatizing shit on Grape, and I'm carrying this shit on my chin. I'm taking this shit, bro. That song, Baby Loke, you niggas got me fucked up. That song, Great Street Watch, what I'm telling on the nigga I picked up. What on my shit? What is this? What game we playing? So I was in the Twilight Zone, but when that lady started coming, I don't even know this woman. You feel me?
Katie?
Yeah, Katie.
Katie?
She was part of my attorney.
Katie
Yeah.
Quack.
Yeah. Her father sent me a letter and was breaking down, and we gonna bring all that shit. We bring the letter. Once we get the whole discovery, we want to break down the video. We want all that shit.
Right.
You got me fucked up. And he was telling me about how I had a chance of getting out. Mind you, I keep saying this habeas corpus shit. I ain't never heard of that shit.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't never knew you could get out if you took a deal. But there's other shit with that Texas law. I don't know if they have that even out here. I don't know. I never heard of it. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, his team contacted the lawyer that I hired to help me. Why the fuck would his team be helping me if I told on him?
Right.
Why would this lady break her silence and go ham with all these details, not giving a fuck, don't know me?
Right.
If I told on him, what?
Yeah. Did it ever enter into your mind at any point during this that Greedo had done anything inappropriate during the arrest or afterwards? Or was this like something that you first thought about when the video came out the other day?
No, I never put that out there that he told on me. I never had them feelings. I never felt like that. Or he would have known. He would have known if I felt like that. Like, we don't hide nothing from each other. Hey, I'm gonna tell him how I feel. He gonna tell me how he feel. I never.
What else are we talking about? What else is there to talk about? So again, this ain't looking good. This looked like a business deal that went bad, and now a smear campaign has been launched, and different homies is politicking. That's precisely what it looks like is going on, and I just got to call a spade with that. I got to. I absolutely have to. So I got this. I ain't gonna lie, this Big U saga with Wack. it's starting to be a lot. It's so much to unpack. I'm zooming past that. I want to talk about Bishop Snow, a California gangster disciple. I want to talk about him. But I want to talk about what led into this interview, which it was talked about here on this episode of the Adam and Wax Show. So let's deal with the lead up first.
Cam Capone, no.
He's killing it. No jumper.
What's going on, Robbie Rob? Think about the future that he envisioned all those years ago. Like OnlyFans has become gigantic. Someone
I'm not
in jail.
I don't respect nobody that mess with men.
Concert up, so they had to cancel it. 200,000 tickets per night. Buttons, but you could have just ripped it open or something.
You know, you gay as a motherfucker. You gotta stop. And people like you trying to influence us.
License plate, they were able to like trace every single time it was pinged by cameras on the way to the crime and back. It's insane.
Then the dude posts, what does this mean?
This world has been totally wrapped up in talking about you. And
I'll whack one up. Oh, bro, like, you know, maybe you buy curious or represent an urban gang. All right, a black gang. Politics of these streets and them penitentiaries.
Oh, man.
Blue Moon said your shit fake. You just said you let your homie shoot jizz all on your arm. Be a little on the other side.
But the name sounds very familiar.
Probably so.
But you don't make adult sizes yet, right?
No, that was Cholo shit.
Really?
You know, back in Zoot Suit days. And he moved out here.
No, he is from here. Well, if they were going to end up running them out of the gang, right?
No, they ran the gang out of whole East LA.
Oh, shit.
He told on 5 of his homies. They rolled him up, though.
Oh, well, that's a whole different
He's
thing.
a rat.
I just had Bishop Snow from Oceanside on the podcast. He's half black, half Mexican. Swole.
What is he?
He's a GD. The extremely rare circumstance.
He moved out here.
No, he is from here and just somehow happened to be tapped in with the folks.
That happened when he did time.
No, I don't think he's done a lot of time.
Oceanside, they got some Crips out there.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
They got all that.
Did time. They got some essays.
For sure.
I don't think there's no homies in Oceanside.
It is. D Valley Blood, Crook City Bloods.
Check him out, though. This guy's he's going up. And
now you saying there's GDs in Oceanside?
Well, at least one. But the crazy.
No, there's far more than one GD in Oceanside.
Crazy thing about him, it's you want to see him? This is him right here.
So,
check it out, though. It's like old school rap.
Take a nigga money, mind, smoke a clock. Wouldn't take a chance when I'm sipping on water.
Oh, we.
I fuck with him.
No, he's dope.
Bishop Snow.
He's been going up. He's only been rapping for like a year.
No,
or like
what I'm seeing
putting
is
shit out for like a year, I think.
I know it's Crips and essays out there.
Yeah.
But what I'm seeing is he has a mix of both in his videos. I fuck with him.
He said that to him, he didn't even think it was like a big deal or notable growing up. Like he didn't even like understand that it was like going to be a big talking point that he was black and Mexican. He didn't even think
he's mixed.
Yeah. He's half and half.
Okay. But it looked like he favored the black side.
He looks a little bit more black, to be honest. Yeah, but
no, I'm listening to his lingo.
Yeah.
He's not a black dude trying to speak with the Hispanic lingo.
When you hear that sound, though, do you think that there's a future in that, or do you feel like shit that sounds that old school is gonna have like a smaller audience?
I mean, you never know what comes back these days.
This is true.
Now, I want to say this to that point because that's a good point, right? I think there is a tremendously underestimated large niche audience that you can actually market the old school new editions of the old school sound too, because people are constantly, there's certain people, especially in certain generations, that are constantly complaining about the evolution of music and where it is and how it sounds today. There's a lot of people who listen to oldies, especially amongst the Chicano community and things of that nature. You have certain people who have already leaned towards it in their marketing, i.e., not badass. What's the nigga name? Doggy Style. That's even kind of what Snoopy Badass was on with the Be Brazy look. So I would take them to Bishop Snow, DZ Hollow, certain niggas like that, and I would kind of lump them up into that. And I think that there is a huge market for them, that they could go up and down that West Coast and internationally, places like Asia, Europe, and places like that, and come out with new editions of that old school sound, even being opening acts for some of the West Coast legends when they go on tour. And I think there's a huge market and a big bag that can be gotten with that lane. It's not going to be for everybody, but like I said, there's a portion of people who miss that sound and are constantly revisiting that sound. So having new releases that match that description are going to be, exciting for them, and they're going to stream that, man. I think there's most definitely a market for that.
True. Yeah.
I watched Mystical song Danger, one of them. The TikTok kids never heard it, took that shit and it went.
Danger. That one, right?
Right, yeah, right. So, you never know these days. But shit, hey, Bishop, keep doing what you do. I'll f with you.
You know who I had the other day too? Same day? This kid. He's a bulldog. My first ever bulldog.
Fresno Bulldog was part of the North End.
All right, so let's go to the actual interview with Bishop Snow about Oceanside. Again, I'm qualified. I was out there living in the Oceanside area for quite some time. I know the GDs out there I ain't gonna name niggas' names. I ain't gonna put niggas out there. I just found out my nigga Shorty 6 passed a couple years ago. So I'm gonna name his name, right? You gotta restart? All right. So, he passed a couple years ago, but, there was niggas out there. I definitely was functioning with them. They used to be right there in the Pinks on Emerald. They used to be right there on Grenada. They had that crib on Grenada that was cracking house parties every weekend, going stupid. And it was elsewhere as well, but I definitely was around and rubbed shoulders with certain niggas. I really want to name certain niggas, but I respect the get out of the GDs, and how they move, and I don't want to start putting their names out there like that. But them niggas know from the top, from the nigga that really brought it from the rack to, from Chicago to Oceanside. I know the man on personally. You know what I'm saying? So I'm speaking as a nigga that know for sure.
How you feeling, man?
Good, man. Getting kind of nervous. Like I told you, it's kind of surreal being here, but it's dope.
But I feel like you've done all kinds of rapper stuff at this point. But this kind of occupies like a different space in your mind. It's a little bit bigger.
A lot bigger. I mean, that don't take away from the other platforms I've been on, but I mean, it's definitely like surreal to like work with you and know who you are and know this platform and what it really takes. So I appreciate you having me.
No, I appreciate that, man. I kept like just seeing like
Strip Talk. And what's cold is I heard about GDs in Orange County from used to be a nigga Cassius. He was signed to Shady. He was signed to Eminem, and they said it was supposed to be Orange County GDs too. But I only know about the rapper. But as far as these Oceanside niggas, I know them for sure. For sure. And they even had a war with the Oceanside Insanes, that died down due to, a marriage and things of that nature. So yeah, the GDs, they was out there in Oceanside for sure.
like the thumbnails to your videos and shit. And then when I actually started watching some interview clips, I was very impressed and intrigued by how you carry yourself. You got a very different energy than a lot of people out here rapping these days.
Thank you. I mean, you know, there's a lot of different personalities nowadays, a lot of different people, but you know what I mean. I just try and maintain to be myself. You know,
and we all kind of know that the easiest path towards going viral is just sort of crashing out and acting crazy as and content and stuff. So it's interesting seeing somebody coming out of Southern California who's sort of presenting like a very different version of what a successful young man might look like.
I mean, you know, like I said, teach stay home, but I just try and maintain and be myself and just, you know, conduct who I am, you know.
Definitely. And I mean, I feel like this conversation is kind of similar to the one I was just having, because we just had a kid in here named Fate 300 from Fresno. And we're kind of talking a lot about like what, you know, it's sort of weird to constantly be.
And it's so crazy because not only like it's shocking to everybody GD's in Cali, but even this Oceanside area, like people got to really understand Oceanside and what it is. It's a transient city, meaning, and I don't mean transient like it's hella homeless people. It's a transient city, meaning people are constantly passing through, because one of the largest military bases on the West Coast is there, which is Camp Pendleton. So because of that, it attracts people from everywhere. It attracts people from everywhere. So you got the established gangs of Oceanside. Number one, on the black side, D Valley Crip, without any question. On the Samoan side, D Valley Blood, right? Then in the Valley also, you got Vadio Mesa Locals, right? SAs. That's in the D Valley. You go to the Mid Valley, you got Oceanside Insane Crip Gang. You got Mid Valley Crook City Bloods. You got the Mid Valley Riders. You got other stuff that, you know, Mid Valley players, stuff like that. But really, it was just them three: Blood Gang, Crip Gang, SA Gang, ICG, KCB, and then Mid Valley Riders. Right? Okay, boom. Look at bro. He said every now and then you'll see a GD hit up on the wall in South Central. Look, man, that's a bomb, man. We ain't know nothing about that, right? But you can see it because, you know, somebody might be in LA, right? Or somebody might just be trolling too. That happens. But so that's in the Mid Valley. Then you go, so Oceanside, it start, you know, if you're coming down the 5, you get off the beach. At the beach, you go east or west, right? That's where the concept of the east side and the west side come from in Oceanside, based on the 5 freeway. So if you go west towards the beach, that's the west side. You go east away from the beach, that's the east side, until you drop down Mission into the San Luis Rey Valley, right? Just to get y'all the breakdown of that, right? So on the west side, you got the West Side Crips. On the east, when you go to the east side, first thing you're gonna run into is Pasole, Valle Pasole. Also kind of on both the west and the east sides, you got Center Street. They kind of go across the freeway. You got Center Street, Mexican Gang. Also within the east side, you got East Side, Crook City Bloods. KCB got 3 sides. They got the Biddy, which is Tri-City. They got the east side. They got the Mid Valley. And then you got East Side Crook Mob Gangster Crib, which I could be wrong, but from what I heard, that Fudgetown have a lot to do with starting Crook Mob. Fudgetown out of Watts. That's what I heard. The East Side CMGC, they wear brown like Fudgetown. I don't know. This is what I heard. Anybody can come correct me on that. Then so yes, like I said, you got the deep, you got the mid, then you come to the east side, you got Pasole, you got CMG, which is not the Crenshaw Mafia gangs, Crip Mob Gang, Crook Mob Gangs the Crip, and then you got Crook City Bloods. And then from what I understand, there was some fraternization with the Crooks on the Crip and the Blood side at their infancy. So yeah, so pretty much everywhere you got Blood, Crip, SA, but when you get to the west side, it's just the West Side Crips and Center Street. Then you go down to the south part of Oceanside, you got the Southford Gangster Crips, and you got what's called the Southford White Boys. Crazy, wild ass type of white boys that they just from that area of South Oceanside. Then you go to Tri-City, it is what it is. But just to say, and then why was I saying all that though? I was saying this for a reason. Hold on, let me look at this again to get a refresher.
Conversation's kind of similar to the one I was just having, because we just had a kid in here.
This is what I was saying. So the transient city, my fault. Can't even wear a hat in Cali. I mean, you know, Kinda, but not really. You can wear a lot of hats in California. I just was in California. I had this hat on. Was it this one? I had some Raptors hat. You can wear hats in California. You just gotta know what hats to wear. You gotta know where you are. And guess what? I seen people that wasn't from California wearing hats that you're not supposed to wear. Like I was at the Gorgeous Dre event and the Remnant event, and bro, I seen a nigga with an Astro hat on with the H hat on. You feel me? So, boom, I'm chopping. Oh, what's up, bro? Okay, yeah, where you from? I'm thinking it might be a homie. Now he said he's from Jersey. That don't mean he's not a homie though. He could be, you know, there's plenty of Hoovers in Jersey and things of that nature. But I don't know. We didn't even get that far. But that he had an Astros hat on. You ain't supposed to be able to wear that. You wear hats, but you got to be careful, man. He said, in my head, I thought they was just trying to be cool and bang without repercussions. Never would have thought they going to. Yeah, nah. They was, because you got to understand, and I'm gonna break it down about the GDs in Oceanside. The truth is, the GDs in Oceanside was basically niggas who was supposed to be Crips. It was Chicago niggas that came in, and niggas who was supposed to be Crips that just kind of ended up under the influence of the Chicago niggas, one way or another. It wasn't no hella gang of them. They wasn't deeper than the Crip gangs for the most part, especially not DVC or Insane. But they functioned like Crips, and that's why I heard in the joint they got to run with the Oceanside Crip card. Again, anybody correct me? I ain't had to, when I did time in San Diego County, I didn't see no GDs. I know these niggas strictly from the streets and functioning with them heavy. One of them, one of the main young ones was, or younger ones, one he was still older than me. Nigga stayed with me for a while. When we had when I was 17, I had my apartment. You know, him and a blood from New York. Shout out Mills, always tapping in with the content. A 9-tray blood from New York. How did he move out to Oceanside? Because his step pops was in the service. Boom, moved out there. He's a whole 9-tray gangster blood. We got, you see what I'm saying? So Oceanside is like that. So even then, when I gets out there and I start pressing the issue and I'm like, I'm putting niggas on all the shit, niggas is like, yeah, back in the day, it was some Hoovers around back in the day. So then shout out Damian Porter, you know, the big homie little Chinaman, 11 Deuce. He told a story about the homies setting up shop and hustling in Oceanside and something happening. It's on his members only page, so I ain't gonna dish the big homie content out. It is what it is. Y'all gotta sign up and become a member to the inside story. The big homie Damian Porter, if you want to know that story. But I had left a comment on one of my channels before they took the channel down, and I was just telling them how crazy that was, because I heard from niggas from Deep Valley Crip, like, yeah, nigga was Hoover niggas trying to set up shop back in the day too, you know, back in the 90s. And then also there's a hood that started in Vista, California called 187 Mob Crip, and it was homies from Five Deuce, you know, who was intertwined through marriage with niggas from Main Street. This is before the Main and Hoover beef, who started 187 Mob Crip in on Bon Air off Santa Fe and Arcadia over there in Vista, California, man, on like, that's like northeast Vista. You feel me? So but it was transient, man. It's niggas from everywhere, all through Oceanside. It's just the nature of being a military city. That's why it's so ethnically diverse. It's a sister city of Pago Pago, Samoa, right? So you got whites, Mexicans, Samoans, blacks, you got other Polynesians, you got motherfuckers from Guam, Tongans, you got Filipinos, you feel me, Vietnamese, Thai motherfuckers, shit like that. All kind of motherfuckers was out there. All kind, you know, because again, it's a military city. How the Samoans got out there? Through the military, through getting colonized by America, becoming American Samoa, getting drafted or voluntarily signing up for the United States military, getting stationed at Camp Pendleton, using their GI Bills and buying up all them houses on Arthur Ave. Any nigga, any Samoan that's watching this is gonna know what I'm telling you the truth, because they know. Because how do I know? From my Samoan broad, and she gave me the breakdown of her family, how they got there. And my Samoan broad, her grandpa was one of the first niggas, and he the one bought most of them houses on Arthur and turned around and sold them to the other Samoan families that made Arthur Avenue the main nigga, the 500 to 600 block nigga, made that the heart of DVB. Feel me? So I know about Oceanside, man. There's some things I don't know, don't get it twisted, but I know because I spent enough time there. From 8th grade nigga to senior year, I was there from like, yeah, about 04, and I left January I came like August 04, and I left January 2010. Then I was gone a few years. I was gone like a year and a half. I came back. I was there for like around a year. Then I moved up to LA for a minute, but I was still around. And I moved to the city of San Diego. You know what I mean? You seen that though, Neff. You seen it if you remember on Damien shit. You know, little tournament. Yellow Hill was not playing when he said Cali. And I said he said LA is not safe, and you know that I like that song. That's probably like the only song by Yellow Hill I listen to. But you know, he he said niggas are still riding 6 falls out there, which that's not true. Yellow Hill, he's another one that's in the Bishop Snow lane. I feel like he's trying to embody like a old school look and feel. Him, Bishop Snow, Doggy Style, Snoopy Badass, like they can all get off in that lane, I feel like, and really get some money just playing keeping the oldies alive spirit, you know. but yeah, so then boom, we pop up out there, but it was other niggas. Like there was a time where Fruittown Paru was out there. It was like one Fruittown Paru, but he was like recruiting different niggas. And I didn't see it, but I heard about it from other niggas that okay, there was a time where the blacks that wanted to be Bloods, they was claiming Fruitas off of, it was one nigga from Compton. Then it was like my nigga Doughboy from Grape. I remember when he was out there, you know what I mean? So we be a clique of niggas, it'll be a whole, but not a clique is like we had a name, but we all hanging together in the same area, and it's different crip sets. Some from the area, some from outside of the area, the GDs as well there, maybe a Blood or two, and everybody would be hanging around, especially off in that Tri-City area. You know, so that's kind of Oceanside and how it is. So just like people from outside Oceanside are surprised to hear there's any Gangster Disciple presence in California. In the same way when niggas like myself showed up, nigga, I started showing up with little homies, nigga, and this Hoover nigga, like them niggas was surprised about, oh, nigga, when did the Hoovers get out here? Nigga, now, nigga. You see what I'm saying? So but that's just the nature of the area. People are always passing through. Like I did, my best friend was in town, you feel me? And we were talking about that. Like when we recorded 6 hours of podcast this weekend. We was going crazy. I promise you. So, but we was talking about how, like I was giving the story before we came out, before I decided like, okay. And when I decided it was under influence of certain homies from LA, number one homie from Tonga Crip, and then one of the homies from Salo, who was really influencing me to really like, nigga, nah, nigga, press this over criminal shit and start putting niggas on. You out there by yourself, you might as well, right? But that was like towards the end of 2006, leading in 2007 was like October 06. So before that, you know, I was just there, but I was seeing different shit. Like on the black side, I was seeing, or really on the Crip side, because the gangs were still mixed, different shit pop up. So during my time, I heard about 187 Mob. Of course, my nigga 7 was from 187 Mob. And you know, and 7, see, I used to love 7 because 7 Mob was father's over. He used to always had the Timbs. He had the Timbs that was white Timbs with the baby blue trim with the orange trees on them. Stupid niggas. Oh my God, I wanted them so bad. But he always would wear the blue and orange to represent for, you know, his mom being from the set. But he was from 187 Mob. And again, that was like intertwining a Hoover influence, but mostly Main Street. That's where the Mafia come from. And they shit 187 Mob come from Main Street Mafia. You see what I'm saying? So what happened? So I seen, so there was 187 Mob. Then during my time, like the niggas a little bit older than me, because Vista got 2 high schools, Rancho Buena Vista and Vista High. So at Rancho, which is where I went, you had LDB or LDBK, Let Them Bleed or Let Them Bleed Blood Killers. And that was started by a nigga from Tonga Crip and a nigga from Insane. They started that, but there was a Crip gang. And they had a lot of niggas, like all the niggas, if you was black, Samoan, it wasn't a blood, any Polynesian that wasn't a blood, or Mexican and had hands and you didn't want to be an SA, you was from LDB. And they had like 30 of just all the niggas with all the hands at the school that was all from LDB. And then at Vista High, you had something called ECG come out, Eucalyptus Crip Gang. So Eucalyptus is a street by the library in Vista. And what happened is a lot of Crips from Oceanside moved over there, Valley niggas, insane niggas, etc., moved up over there. Right. And there's an infamous young lady by the name of Maria. And Maria's house is where I used to go down. That was like a Crip stronghold. And we would be partying over there all the time. So the kids that was from over there who were under the influence of the niggas the Crips that moved over there. So they started their own hood called ECG, Eucalyptus Crip Gang. And they functioned at Vista High School, and eventually the Samoans smashed them out. With LDB, eventually they fizzled out. Either some of them niggas stopped banging or really like turned insane, moved away, shit like that, went on with their lives. So when it came my time to start putting niggas on, it was a vacuum. Neither the rest of those previous entities that I mentioned, they weren't really out there no more. So here I come, boom, I'm putting niggas on, but even then I'm not really trying to like fill in that gap because I don't feel like I want everybody to be from the turf because there was a lot of weak niggas around. And that's the risk you run when you get your turf big is it be busters. You're going to put busters on. You know, it is what it is. So it'd be a lot going on in Oceanside. And when we say Oceanside, it really extends down the 78 freeway from Oceanside to Escondido, that whole North County. They go Oceanside, Vista, San Marcos, Escondido, and then on the side, you got Carlsbad as well, which plays little to no real factor, but just like a small factor because you got like Thunder Hill that's like Vista, Carlsbad border, stuff like that. But it don't really play a factor like that. Really, Oceanside, Vista, San Marcos, Escondido, but especially Oceanside, Vista, and Escondido, they play the biggest parts. And that's no disrespect to San Marcos whatsoever. Shout out to my VSMs, my Ghost Towns, my Wolf Packs. But what I mean is, as far as on the black side, that's really where we live. Niggas don't really function in San Marcos that much. It's mostly Oceanside, Vista, and Escondido. Right, just for the record. But let's keep going. Shout out to the homie, man, just landed. All right. Let's go.
Named Fade 300 from Fresno.
Yep.
And we're kind of talking a lot about like what, you know, it's sort of weird to constantly be explaining your hometown to people since if you're not from Los Angeles proper on the West Coast, it feels like there's a lot of different areas that people are just kind of confused about and they don't really know what's going on out there.
Yeah. And I feel like with that, you know, where I'm from Oceanside, so it's like an hour south from here. So a lot of people kind of just, you know, automatically related to LA and without really knowing that we're in North County, San Diego. You know, but him being from Fresno is kind of it's farther up north. So I can see like it's probably hard explaining that too. Yeah. You know, but with Oceanside, you know, it can be difficult because we're 45 minutes north of San Diego, but we're an hour and a half south of LA.
See, there you go. Yeah. Do you feel more at home with San Diego or LA?
I mean, to be real, I feel more home at Oceanside. I kind of, you know what I mean? They each have their differences. My dad's from LA, so, you know, I was up here a lot as a kid. My aunt would take us to Dodgers games as a kid. When my grandparents first got out here from Mexico, my dad's parents, they were in Watts, and they had my dad in Watts, but my dad grew up in Almonte in San Gabriel Valley. And then when my mom got out here from the Midwest in 84, she was in South Central, but she ended up going to Hacienda Heights. So, you know, coming up here a lot as a kid, you know, I was just used used to the two, but being out there in San Diego, in Oceanside, and going to San Diego a lot as a kid, you know, it's kind of, I don't know. I feel like I honestly been to LA more than I've been to San Diego a lot of the times.
There's a little bit more to do.
It's crazy because that's how I was probably until like 2000. What that had to be like the end of 2012. And then like I moved to San Diego and I really started getting around Dago. Like maybe not so much the end, like 2012. That's when I really started fucking around in San Diego, man. But before that, I've probably been to LA way more than San Diego from a kid. Hold on. He said so they block banger as a collective. Who you talking about, Jalen? The GDs? They bang. If you talking about the GDs and Oceanside, they bang as a collective. They don't like rep a hood or anything like that. They kind of have moved around. They kind of have moved around a little bit. You feel me? Different spots, but yeah, they don't like bang a block. Nah, they just, it's them. You know what I'm saying? It's them, and they, you know, so they be around. Like I said, we be out there, like they'll be around everybody, because you know, especially like in Tri-City, it'd be like hella apartments. So you know, they be coming with apartments sometimes, like niggas coming in and out. So it'd be niggas from everywhere. It'd be military niggas from here and there, GD niggas, Crip niggas, blood niggas. It'd be just everybody in the apartments, you know.
Out here, so there might be more attractions.
Sometimes. I mean, I've been going to
take anything away from SD.
Going to a lot of Padres games lately, though. So you know, I like going down there. But San Diego does have a lot to do, and you know, even past that, going to TJ and shit. So
I was just in Temecula.
Okay.
And so when I was down there, I'm seeing the signs on the highway for Oceanside and shit, and I'm just wondering, like, I'm thinking, like, you know, I'm starting to like watch some of your shit and like learning a little bit about it, but I'm like, I guarantee if I get off here and we go for brunch downtown or some shit, that I'm probably not gonna really like peep any of the shit that's actually going on that you be talking about.
Yeah. They kind of changed it over the past like 10 years, I would say. Oceanside was, you know, it's really just based off of the military. So it's a military based town because Camp Pendleton is right next to it.
Okay.
And Pendleton is the second biggest military base in the world.
And people don't know that. They're like entire economies and small towns can pop up and like just create little universes just based on there being a military base, because there's so many
a military base or a prison.
Businesses that have to exist to even just like take care of that group of people.
Exactly. So like downtown has a lot of like dry cleaning, like for like militaries and stuff like that. Like basically where people like take their camis and shit. But I mean, downtown, a lot of landscapers from other areas, specifically like Orange County, from my understanding, they basically came in and bought a lot of that land. Because when I was growing up, a lot of that was just dirt fields. And really the only landmark we had was like the house from Top Gun. You know what I mean? That was like the only thing we really had.
Just randomly that shot scenes there.
Yeah. So the scene where I mean, I'm not too familiar with the first Top Gun, but the scene where he goes to his girlfriend's house on the motorcycle and pulls up to the house, and then you can see the Oceanside Pier in the background.
Oh, nice.
That's downtown Oceanside.
Okay.
And so over time, the neighborhood around it kind of just deteriorated. That became like a trap house, from my understanding. When I was a kid, that was like a dope house, and then basically they took the house, renovated it, and then put it in front of one of the new hotels that's right there and turned it into like a fucking pie shop.
Wow, really?
Yeah. So like I said, so a lot of developers came in and bought that land, and now we have 2 hotels downtown, which I mean the rooms are like $500 a night.
Yeah. So just to comment on that, like me, I'm not gonna cap. I don't come from the biggest city in the world, but you know, Tacoma, Washington was far more advanced and developed than Oceanside when I got to Oceanside. Like I used to be like, bro, y'all tallest building is the hospital. Y'all niggas don't even got more than 3-story buildings. You know, that's not true anymore. And of course, the reason for that is because of proximity to which I was ignorant of as a child or as a teenager, which is proximity to, you know, the water and, you know, potential tsunami and things of that nature. So, you know, they in beach towns like that back in the day, they really built things, you know, smaller, shorter, lower. Now, of course, you know, they've got a little bit more ingenuitive with the architecture, so they know how to build structures to withstand such things. But yeah, they built them hotels, and it was like, damn, like Oceanside, was never looked like this. Now it looks like a totally different place. But from what I understand from the history of Oceanside, it was like a California beach surf attraction tourism town back like maybe in the 50s, 60s, 70s. And then it went a different direction and they kind of modernized and brought it back as that and really gentrified the hell out of it. Right? Hold on. Bro said, man, I was on Skyline and the inn and closed to hotel circle, just people in the area, and the police did a donut with 3 slid off sideways. What cars better wealthy, mostly couples are white and black, white men and black women. Yeah, he said why cars bad, wealthy, and most couples are white and black. I definitely don't think most couples in Carlsbad are white and black women. I definitely don't think that. But I would say that San Diego as a whole, mostly the city of San Diego, kind of has like an exacerbated rate of interracial couplings, where it's a black woman, a white man, for sure. We definitely observe that teaching on the streets out there, like for sure. But it's a lot of diversity, so it's a lot of like quote unquote mixed race dating, like a lot. Like in high school, most niggas I know was dealing with girls because it was like my age group in high school. It wasn't a lot of black girls. It was black girls, but it wasn't a lot. So a lot of niggas was fucking with Mexican girls, fucking with white girls, fucking with Asian girls, fucking with Samoan girls. Like boom, and then like my little brother in them generation, which he's 3 years younger than me. That's where like, okay, the black girls was like older than us and younger than us. They wasn't our age, you know. So because the black population really wasn't that strong out there, so you know, things like that happen. I seen hella white men with black women. Yeah, right. Black Filipino. Look, here go Cap. Cap gonna tell you. He gonna tell you that's San Diego as it gets. Yeah, that's Dago as it gets right there. You feel me? So, you know, all praises. But let's keep going.
With like rooftop bars and everything surrounding it is just building up.
Interesting. So do you know how your parents ended up in Oceanside? Or was that like where you were born?
Military. So my dad was in the military.
Okay.
So my dad, I mean, the story's kind of choppy from my understanding because my dad didn't really explain it too much, but he kind of, you know.
But you already have like way more of an understanding of your parents' background than the average person that I talk to. When you're talking about like knowing what high school your mom went to and shit, like people don't really know that on average.
I mean, my dad, I didn't talk to my dad for like 10, 12 years. So like, a lot of the information that I got was more so recent. So even like finding out about like my grandparents and shit like that, or where they're from and in Mexico and all that, like I kind of found out that all later, you know?
Interesting.
So my dad, you know, basically had a brief stint in the system in LA, and basically they kind of gave him the idea, like the option, you know, military or do your time. And so he went military, but then he ended up pursuing college, became, you know what I mean, did that whole shit. And then I was actually born in 29 Palms, but then when I was 3, we moved to.
Which 29 Palms is a military area, just so you understand. That's out there way deep inland. It's 29 Palms. I think it's near Palm Springs too. 29 Palms. 29 Palms is a city in San Bernardino County, California. Serves as one of the entry points to Joshua Tree National Park. Native American tribes such as Serrano, Chimihuvi, and Cohula lived in the area. Okay. This is interesting. Look, the tribe who live in the surrounding hills near the spring, they call Mara, right? Now watch this. Let me show you why that's interesting. We just heard this earlier. Deuteronomy 33:8, right? They did strive at the waters of Marabah. Now they call them waters of that spring Mara. This is Marabah, right? In the Hebrew. And this going back to the Exodus, but you deal with that term Mara from Marabah. Hold on. Marabah. Strife, contention. Also, I think it means bitter, if I'm not mistaken. Let's go. Bitter. See, Mara. Bitter. be contentious, rebellious, be refractory, be disobedient, to be rebellious against. So that's very interesting. Look at the Most High giving us some edification right there, just on a complete accident. Okay, I don't think 29 palms is really like a military seat, but don't really say nothing about that. So I guess I was wrong. Oh, yeah. Oh, the current economy depends largely on the nearby Marine Corps Air Ground Combat Center. So, yeah, it is. Never mind. I was right. All praises. Right. So that's a Marine area, 29 Palms. Where bro at? Boom.
To Oceanside, or 3 months old when we moved to Oceanside. So I've been in Oceanside since I was 3 months old.
Yeah, shout out to the Little Africans. And Little Africans they kind of get like overshadowed sometimes. People don't be talking about, 5-1 LAPs, but nigga, they was out there. Right? Yeah, okay, the military base of the SICARRI, exactly. Right? But Little Africans, they was doing their thing. Cap will tell you about them. Little Africans or Farrell Park Banks, just niggas like that, my Parkside niggas. Everybody just always saying look in the skyline, but it's it's other little stuff a part of that too, out there in that southeast.
So literally like basically my entire life. That's all I know.
And how would you describe what it's like to grow up out there? And were you kind of like kept away from a lot of shit because your parents were in the military? Is there like separate housing?
Nah, I mean, the first few years of growing up, it was just more so like sport. Like for me, it was sports, skating. Like I really had a different outlook on things. And I really wanted to be a basketball player and a football player, and I ran track. So my parents did athletics. My dad was a football player. My mom ran track. So athletics was really the way to go for me. And then not, having my dad around for a long time and kind of the things that kind of transpired when I was a kid with my dad being around. I mean, I don't talk about it too much because I don't like, me and my dad are cool now, so I don't want to throw him under the rug or nothing, but
okay.
So
there were complications.
It was rough. Yeah, it was rough. It was rough having my dad around for a little bit. So, and then, so my dad was gone for years, and then I didn't really have any father figures. So, I kind of just went about my own and ran the streets for a long time, and kind of had to learn my own life lessons. And then my father figures are basically just my big homies.
How'd you end up getting into the streets? So was it like right there in front of you, the option of sort of getting into trouble and everything?
Yeah, I mean, so away from basically what we were talking about with Oceanside, like away from downtown, you have different hoods in Oceanside. So I mean, like if I was in them off the east side, the west side, I grew up in the east side, the west side, Mid Valley, Deep Valley, South O, and Tri-City. Shit, forgive me if I forgot any, but each different neighborhood has like 2 or 3 hoods to it. So it's Crips, Bloods, and Southsiders that are within the city. And so, I mean, it was in front of me, but I kind of had it in my head that wasn't an option. So it was kind of like just sports. And when I got like 14, 15 and just being around everything and being surrounded with certain people, and it was like, all right, like I'm gonna just like, my mental kind of started changing, and I was just like, this is what I'm going to do.
Do you feel like you made that decision, or from a sports perspective, did you kind of realize that maybe you weren't going to be able to be what you thought you were going to be? Because you seem like a physical specimen. You got like big ass muscles. You seem like you probably could have succeeded at whatever you wanted to do sports wise, or was it
that route? But
was it because your mentality had gotten kind of like negative and it didn't make you want to like succeed or pursue that kind of thing?
Very negative. I just stopped caring. I stopped giving a fuck. I was like, I don't really care about too much, and my grades started. I started just not going to class. And
all because of this strained relationship with your dad?
Nah, just a lot of different things. So, I mean, my decisions in life, so me like drinking and smoking at a young age and kind of just going about like these different routes that I was just like, I don't really care. I mean, of course, probably not having my dad there kind of might have had some kind of effect on it, not having guidance in that sense. My mom was so busy with work that she wasn't really around too much. So I was just out all times of the day, out 3 days, not going home. Didn't really need to go home. I was just like, if I went home, I was changing clothes and dipping out. So it wasn't really like, there was nothing too like specific as to what happened, but it was just over time, I just really stopped caring. Like I didn't feel the need to, saying it now is crazy. You know what I mean? Like I'm 29 years old and I look back at like my 14-year-old self and I'm like, damn, like I really just stopped giving a fuck about my life.
Right, because your rational self looks at the life that you previously were living and you're like, damn, if you had an opportunity to, potentially go to college and have it paid for by a scholarship or some shit, or like, to pursue sports like that, like, you can do crimes or like be part of a street organization or whatever, like at any point in your life, really. But like that, the desire to do that shit is so much stronger when you're in your late teens.
Yeah, and I mean the influence is a lot stronger too, and then meeting the people that I did and being around everybody was like people that were older than me, a lot older than me. So it was like that.
Yeah, I really don't know no GDs that was his age. That's why like I don't know him. And again, this don't invalidate him in the slightest. He's a little too young for me to know like that. But you know, the GDs I knew really was older than me. None of them was even my age. They was all older than me.
Influence, it just at the same time they gave me guidance, and it was like I learned from them, but it was just me making my own decisions.
Really. Definitely. So, okay, what were the dudes that you were hanging out around? Because you said that Oceanside has Bloods, Crips, and Southsiders. How did you end up going a different way?
I was around a lot of different people as a kid. I mean, not only those hoods, but we had a lot of cliques too.
Okay.
You know, so I mean, the people I was around really, like I'm half black, half Mexican, so it wasn't like I was just around one race at a time.
Right.
You know, and I have relatives from both races, both sides. So it was like, I just ended up going a different way. And then my uncle being who he is, so my uncle is one of my older homies, and he's from an organization that's not really even based in California.
Okay, so his uncle. Now, I'm looking at him, right? I'm looking at him, and he favors at least two GD niggas I know for sure. One of them very well may be his uncle. I ain't gonna say niggas' names. Like I said, the way they function, I'm gonna show them respect and not dropping niggas' names and things of that nature. But I have an idea of who his uncle probably is.
Right. That's why people are so surprised. There's so many like gang options, but I never met anybody who was GD from LA or from Southern California. I don't think. Obviously,
but hey, you got Sereno Southsiders in Chicago. You see what I'm saying? So it do happen on both ways. Now you had, because there's a few different gangs that Mexican gangs that claim to be Latin Kings in Southern California, but they Serenos though, and some say that at least one of them were directly from Chicago, and it's just like the BPSs. That's a Chicago gang. They in an alliance in Chicago to fight the People Nation, but in LA they became Bloods, but it all come from the same root. So these things they do happen now, y'all.
So we talked to a ton of Chicago dudes who rep that in New York, but then at the same.
Hold on, y'all. Give me 1 second. My bad, y'all. My bad, man. My fault. All right, back to it. Let me check the comments. Back to it.
Same time, I've seen documentaries about kind of more like militant GD branches in other states, and some of them I've even heard say basically that like they specifically do not with other forms of being a GD. So I'm sure there's.
Yeah, like what people have seen get popularized, like what I know about GDs, and because I'm from Washington, where there are plenty of GDs, especially in Seattle, which I'm not from Seattle, from Tacoma. We have GDs in Tacoma too. Don't get that twisted. But just I think that there's a difference between the functionality of GDs. I actually can't say out of state versus Chicago. I would mostly say that it was like a generational thing. Like GDs back in the day operated a certain way, and if you came under a tight knit group like he did of GDs under that old guard, then you're gonna operate like that, and that's what he's displaying, and the niggas that was around him display. But the drill scene GDs that you see, that's not at all what the message of being a gangster disciple was ever about, being growth and development was ever about. So I think that we see them, they're essentially the same as Crips and Bloods. But there was a higher purpose that was intended for the organization. And I think that it was preserved in older generations in Chicago, and then preserved a little better in certain segments outside of Chicago. That's what I would say from my personal observation, from knowing GDs from Chicago and all around the country.
And there's really so many options. So I mean, you have folks and you have people. So people's and folks is I'm not going to compare it to Crips and Bloods, but it's really just one or the other. And
you don't want to compare to Crips and Bloods, but it's essentially the Chicago equivalent. But it's not because in California, where you have Crips and Bloods, you have Serranos, Norteños, whereas in the Chicago politic, all races either fall under the 5 or the 6. You got white gangs, Hispanic gangs, Arabs, whatever, they falling up under the folks of the People Nation. You see what I'm saying? So that's where it's different in that aspect, but it's virtually the same thing, right? Conceptually the same thing.
Have different types of folks. So I mean, being a GD wherever you are, like the difference is I'm a GD. I'm not from GD. You know what I mean? I'm not from.
Meaning he's a part of the organization. He's not like from some gang. He didn't get put on some gang. He is a part of an organization. He is a GD, not from GD, right?
From a certain section. I mean, if I was from Chicago, then it'd be like, okay, maybe I'm from 11-9, maybe I'm from, you know what I mean, 073, whatever the case might be. But I'm not really gonna go too much into how many states have folks in them, but or how many areas have folks in them, or the PO or any kind of structure or anything like that. But it's there. Is there in different states as you wouldn't even expect, And so, I mean, of course, like when a lot of things happened, a lot of folks branched off to the South, and we had a lot of folks down there that way. Really the reason that we have a lot of guys out here is because of the military. That is one of the reasons.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
So because, folks would come, be in the military, and then they come out this way due to Camp Pendleton or wherever they were stationed at. When they stayed, it's like, that was what it was. So, I mean, me being my age, I was the youngest. I was the only one from California. Everybody that was older than me was from, my uncle's from Chicago. My mom's side is from Chicago. My one of my older homies is from Killeen, Texas. Of course, that's a military town. Folks from Miami, from St. Louis, So a lot of these guys are from different states, but I'm the only one that was really this, that they was this young, and I was from California.
That was this young for sure, but like I knew quite a few niggas that really was homegrown. Well, not quite a few, a couple of them that was really, really from California though. 1000%. One of which I already named who passed. you know, and certain other ones. But for the most part, them dudes, they was coming from different states. Two in particular I know was from Chicago. You know, just from, you know, me being real cool with them. And a couple others I knew was from down south.
And when you're talking about getting into the streets, though, you're kind of making it sound as if you were angry and looking for, you know, kind of to get into trouble or whatever. But then it seems like you actually joined an organization that was probably the most like serious and
kept me in check,
intent on like they have like a real structure. It's not supposed to be something that's just like rampant negativity for the community. Yeah,
it's growth and development. And so that was like before I came home, so to say. A lot of my decisions were just stupid ass decisions that I decided to do, whatever I decided to get into. But then when I became folks, it was like, you know, there are things in line that keep me in check, that make me believe in. And, you know, when I was younger, it was more so like, oh, okay, I'm a gangster disciple, this and that. But, you know, when you get older and then I have more of that growth and development mentality, and the people that watch, you know what I mean, that understand that, you know, will understand what I'm saying without going too far in depth about it. You know, it's, you know, there's certain things that are in line to where, you know, when I say certain things, they'll understand where I'm coming from. Or even like shit, I ended up in Glendale, Arizona, right outside of Phoenix, like 2 years ago, and I was at a Circle K buying a beer, and then I ran into some guys that ended up becoming folks, and we, you know what I mean, had these conversations, you know what I'm saying, some words were exchanged, and you know, they understood who I was without, you know what I mean, and we have like a no vouch rule, so there's nobody that could really, like, if I go to another state, they can't call nobody and be like, yo, this is so and so, he's good. Like, I'm gonna, you know what I mean, I have to stand on my six myself and spit my literature.
Which is fire. I feel like it should be like that.
It's interesting. No vouch, because I feel like you know, I'm in like the poker world, and vouching is a big thing in the sense of like, you know, if me and you are going to play and you don't have 100,000 on you, but we want to play for 100,000, it's like if I have a friend who I trust and he'll vouch for you, then it's like there's just like a code amongst like poker players that's like I'll assume that you're good for it, and if you aren't, then I can basically ask that dude to make shit correct, which is you know, a lot of people would never imagine having that level of trust. But that's really interesting.
Same idea. So I mean, it's like, you know, and even with that, and even being in a different area, you know, basically the idea is no matter where I go, I'm a representation of the nation as a whole. So I mean, we say this thing which is like one is all and all is one. So basically I represent the nation as a whole no matter where I'm at. So even if I come in this building, I'm the only one of the folks that's here, everything that I do is a representation of all the guys. You know, and so wherever the guys are at, I'm at as well. You know what I mean? It's kind of confusing in that sense, but basically what I'm saying is I represent the entire nation with all my actions and what I do. And basically I'm given, you know, certain pieces of lit that make me act a certain way, so I can conduct myself as a proper person.
And was it always is the like memorizing your literature and like being able to have those conversations and sound like fluid with your speech about that shit? That's like a huge part of having respect in that world.
I mean, not even just having respect, but it's just a representation of who you are, and so that way the guys know, you know, who you are as a person, you know what I mean? And you know, your representation in a room full of the guys, or your representation in public.
So do you think that by becoming GD, it made you go in a healthier direction in your life as opposed to some of the other things you could have done?
Way better route. The folks were there when I graduated high school. You know what I mean? And it made me grow and develop. Like I said, it made me grow and develop. It made me a gentleman of a distinguished nature, all of it. You know what I mean? And you know, in a more positive note.
GDN, if y'all ain't catch it, gentleman of a distinguished nature.
You know, and through that, I was able to kind of get on that route to where it was like things are better, you know what I mean? And, you know, they kept me in check and they gave me that guidance, and not even just guidance in that sense, but just guidance as a person to where I could be a better person. And these guys that are older than me made sure that I was always taken care of, or whatever I needed, or if I needed a job, you know, and folks were, you know, getting out of prison sentences and then coming out and getting jobs as you know, managers at grocery stores, making sure the rest of the guys were taken care of and had jobs, you know.
It's crazy because people always,
like Flip said, them bylaws, and that's the coldest thing about it, and that's something that the Chicago, but when you understand Chicago versus you know, what was happening in LA and on the West Coast, you know, Chicago had a strong representation of Israelites, Muslims, you know, conscious black movements that recognized the fact that we were missing law and order and structure within ourselves, and that gave inspiration to a lot of this literature that was being taught and that was instructing and molding and shaping the membership. So it had a positive intention, but truthfully, all we ever needed as Black and Hispanic people is the Bible. All of that's there. That's the literature that we need, and it's the most important literature and popular literature to ever exist on the face of the earth, interestingly enough. I want to show y'all something, matter of fact, real quick. Watch this. Fuck y'all head up real quick. Watch this. The Israelite Stones. Show y'all something. This was a whole gang in Chicago. Come on, you gonna go to it or what? The Israelite Stones. In December 1976, Jeff Ford called a big meeting of the top Stones at the Israelite camp on 42nd and Prairie, just around the corner from the Titanic Stone stronghold, Fortrey 43rd and Prairie. What did it say? The camp. They called it the camp. Was a building very similar to the fort, which the El Rukns had not purchased yet. The camp was a very heavily fortified building and was the headquarters of the Israelite Stones, led by James Prince, pronounced Yak. He was Prince Yak. Yak being, of course, short probably for Jacob or something to that effect. Brantley. The Israelites were a separate branch of Stones. They used their Hebrew religion as a cover. The camp was their mosque. Their symbol was the six-pointed Jewish star of David. For religious reasons, they had no affiliation to the disciples. Prince Yak was sort of a mentor to Jeff Ford. He was a lot older, already in his 60s by the 1980s. Prince Yak's style became the model of which Jeff Ford would build the El Rukn Empire. He used what he learned from Yak to establish the El Rukns. The camp was officially titled the Sons of the Ancient Israelite Holy Temple. It was at that meeting at the camp that Jeff Ford announced that they were no more going to remain 21, and only chosen followers would go on to become El Rukn, and that the name Black Peace Stone was to be used no more. Only stones who were not chosen to be El Rukn were simply left hanging. So the Israelite Stones and the Israelite organization played a major role in Jeff Ford's movement, mentoring Jeff Ford and leading him in things of that nature. But they had that block there, 42nd and Prairie. A lot of people don't know about that. Right. But that's just showing you the difference between I just seen a video before. There's a lot about SICARRI. So right, shout out to SICARRI. Shot right, real niggas. My real brothers out there, Officer Tazapanya, SICARRI, Adalia, Katazar, Zion back out there. You feel me? All my brothers out there in that SICARRI Chicago.
Just want to ask me like how we could stop gangbanging or some shit, and I'm like, it's not about that, because that's never going to happen. It's more about like the gangs themselves have to evolve and change and become more positive. And like we see like small examples of that, where you can see how like certain gangs will like have, clearly like much more care for the people and don't want to just cause destruction and shit like that. Like, I mean, is from your perspective, is that like, is being a GD like something you would recommend to your son or to a young man?
Not to my son. I mean, I'm going to utilize the things that I did learn from being folks and, teach that to my son just as being a good person, characteristics wise.
Right.
I'm not going to hand my son anything and be like, here, learn this. You know what I mean? In 90 days to learn this, or you know what I mean? Or
really? Because that's what parents do with the Bible, right?
Yeah.
Tell your kid, hey, read this shit. I believe this shit. Read better fucking read it, man.
I mean, my relationship with my folks and my relationship with God is two different things. You know what I mean? So that would be different. But I wouldn't even push the Bible on my son.
Really?
Whatever my son decides to do, or whatever relationships my son decides to have with God, is completely on him. You know what I mean? I'm not going to push it on him. So, I mean, with that being said, It isn't something that I would push on anybody else because it was my own personal decision to become folks and to come home. So, and it helped me differently than it might have helped other people. Teach their own, and everybody's experience with this is different. And I've watched it firsthand. So, there's a lot to it, but like I said, personally with me, I wouldn't have changed anything. I would not have changed anything because of the things that I've learned. I feel like, but I mean, as far as other organizations in the streets, teach their own as well. However they decide to handle certain things, everybody has their politics, and you know what I mean. I don't feel like that's for me to speak on.
Do you feel any kind of like connection to when you see like other GD stuff going on? Or I don't know if you ever been like hanging out with somebody listening to King Von and all of a sudden he's screaming GDK. Like, does that not really sit right with you, even though it's completely separate?
Nah, I mean, that was what Von believed in. You know what I'm saying? And Von was a factor where he was from, and I don't feel like he went out. I feel like how he went out wasn't right. You know what I mean? And, if that's the case with a lot of different things, but I mean, personally, I don't listen to King Von. So, you know what I mean?
Based on listening to your music, I kind of assume that.
You know what I mean? It's just, it's just different tastes of music. But I mean, there are those people out there that do listen to Von, that listen to Dirk, that listen to, you know what I mean, whoever they want to listen to, and that's completely on them.
But you're saying that the way that you that he went out didn't sit right with you? Like, you mean in just like
I feel like he should have caught that fade fairly.
See, there is that, but then there's also the reality when you really dig into it and how many threats were being thrown back and forth, that if you were Quando Rondo or Lil Tim, when you saw King Von and you already knew about the reputation that he had, and there's been all this back and forth online of like, it's the kind of situation where there are certain people where I feel like if I saw them in public, I would be able to.
I think he's actually saying that King Von should have caught that fade fairly, meaning, and I think, because I watched this already, but it was like 2 weeks ago almost. So I think what he's saying is instead of King Von running up and rushing him, he should have came and called him for a head up, a fair head up. And, it probably wouldn't have went down with him getting killed. That's what I think, but I think he's going to clarify. Hold on, Jalen said, Jalen, is it safe to say that modern terminology, what they have called Christ and the disciples a gang and wanted to kill him because of many who believe? They might, but they might not. They might call them instead terrorists, a cult, things like that.
Shoot them and get away with it on self-defense just because of shit that has prior occurred, where it's like, if it was presented in court, hey, this guy said this and this about me, so I was correct to act that way when it happened. I feel like that is kind of understandable at a certain point.
I mean, everybody's going to go about the situation differently. And basically, Quando Rondo and, his homies being from the streets, like, they're going to handle it however they feel suit, righteous to. And I mean, honestly, Von could have went about it a different way too. I mean, if you really, heard about Von's reputation, he really could have went about it however the fuck he wanted to.
Given his reputation, the fact that he went about that the way that he did is so shocking, because it's not like he was handling his problems with other people in Chicago that way.
Yeah, caught that fade. And I mean, like I said, if I feel like if he did handle it the way that everyone expected it, that he would have, you know what I mean, then it would have been a different story, obviously. I mean, and it would have just been another one on his list, you know what I'm saying? But,
right.
But I mean, if that's the case, I mean, unfortunately, that's not the case, and you know what I mean. It's it is what it is, and it ain't what it ain't, you know what I mean. And he, like I said, it's the name of the game though. The streets is fucked up.
So how old are you right now?
29.
29. Okay, so you graduated high school?
Yeah.
Okay. And then what do you do with yourself after high school?
Shit. Worked some jobs, still kind of ran around. I really just didn't really have any direction after high school. I didn't want to go to college. I didn't feel like that was necessary at the time. So just worked some 9-to-5s. And then it was kind of aimless at first. Like, I really didn't have a sense of direction. I just kind of did what I did.
But that was kind of the covering the whole GD thing. If y'all want to check out the rest of this interview, definitely I suggest checking it out. What I would say is, I think he definitely has a lane, but also, the only drawback I have from this interview is that I feel like Bishop is being too, like, he's being over polished and he's like over media trained in this situation. That's what I feel like. I feel like what you got to do and what part of the name of the game is really showing your personality. And I don't feel like you're letting your personality shine through and the authentic nature of you that will be appealing to people and attract them more so to your music. You're speaking very well, highly intelligently. You're carrying yourself very well, and it's admirable. But you still have to balance out with a practicality and a demonstration of your personality, so people can really buy into you. That's also important. You know, look at that. Look at Cap said the same thing I did. The same thing he said. He's answering these questions like a post NBA playoff interview. The way he's breathing is like MJ. Is it like, bro? You gotta let people see who you are, bro. Let people see you as a likable, real individual, bro. You know, being overly polished, overly prepped, it does kind of have a bit of a drawback. This is just speaking as a content consumer, not a creator. But as a creator, like when I went to my No Jumper, and like you said in the beginning, like you was nervous. I'm gonna be honest. When I went to my first time, I was a little nervous. Like, damn, this is like a major look. So like the first 10 minutes, I was nervous, but I understood, you know, by the spirit of the Most High that my job is to go in here and showcase my personality. You don't showcase Bishop Snow. Bishop Snow is the product that's being marketed. Bishop Snow happens to be Black and Mexican. Bishop Snow happens to be a GD from California. You see what I'm saying? It's not a GD from California talks, a nigga that's half Black, half Mexican talks. Nah, it's Bishop Snow talks. You see what I'm saying? And you got to let that shine through. And that's how I want it yeah, I kept saying boom. I stuttered on my age. So I know my age. Right. But you know, it just was just okay, shit, I'm here. Here we are. You know what I'm saying? Like bro said in his shit, like it's surreal, but like, you know, but I understood I'm up there showcasing. I'm Grla Hebrew. It wasn't just a Hebrew Israelite comes on the platform. Grla Hebrew came on the platform, and I talked about being an Israelite, being a Hoover, being everything that I am, being Haitian. You see what I'm saying? Like that, I'm all that stuff, but I'm there about me. You see what I'm saying? So I feel like you should have definitely showcased your personality a little bit more, but it still was good and good representation. And niggas, you put Oceanside on the map at the end of the day because ain't nobody else from Oceanside been on this platform yet, unless you want to count me. And if you count me, that's fine. You know, I like to think of myself, I'm a representative of the entire West Coast. I'm a representative of anything, you know, in the relative proximity of Interstate 5. You know, but mostly, of course, the hilltops come Washington indefinitely. But man, bro, it was at the end of the day, it was good. And I hope people understand, like, nah, it's real life, it's GDs in California, at least in Oceanside, as I've heard there in Orange County, not really nowhere else, but you know, that's a thing. It does exist. And don't be so surprised, man. But I'm gonna close out with that. I'm gonna give all praise to the Most High. Remind everybody, promo code Monday will save you on all items and orders right now at urbangrow.com, man. Shalom.